Good evening, and welcome to the award ceremony of the 6th edition of the European Startup Prize for Mobility. I'm Dan Sobowitz, the Managing Director of the prize, and I'm joined by the unstoppable Mariana Evanstein.
Hello, Dan. I'm so happy to be presenting the 6th edition of the prize with you once again to share the stage. And we're especially proud that this year we are part of the European Commission's EU Industry Days here in the vibrant city of H.S.H in Poland. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight, of course, is about celebrating the future of sustainable mobility. And it's really exciting to have so many individuals here tonight who are shaping that future.
And among those who survived the pouring rain outside and made it here, we have some important VIPs that we would like to recognize. Michał Baranowski, Polish State Secretary for Economic Development and Technology, and Vice President Czerwinska of the European Investment Bank. So,
yeah.
Thank you. And there are quite a few people I hear who are making their way through the rain. They will dry up and they will join us inside.
Yeah.
So ambassadors, diplomats, representatives from the European Commission that we have here, from the European Parliament, local authorities here in Rzeszów, also hosting us, the Rzeszów Council, and of course business leaders from across the industry. Your presence sends a powerful message of support to Europe's most promising startups.
We also want to extend very warm thanks to the Polish presidency of the Council of the EU for making this an official presidency event. We're very excited about that, and we're very grateful for your trust and partnership. So, Dan.
Up to me? Okay.
Yeah,
so to open this evening, we're proud to welcome on stage for the first welcoming words, State Secretary Michał Baranowski. Thank you for your ministry support, and please, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Marianne. And to everyone who made it to this building from the EU Industry Days. It's, you are showing commitment. Welcome to Poland. Welcome to Rzeszów. This is a special place for those who are here. You know that we are just 80 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. Rzeszów has gained incredible importance since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia, because it's a bridge to Ukraine. 80% of military aid and other aid is coming through the beautiful town of Rzeszów. And it's also a very safe place because just outside there are a couple batteries of Patriots. So it's one of the safest places in Europe, I would say. But let me switch to the remarks a little bit more on the topic. It's a great pleasure to be with you at the European Startup Prize for Mobility, an event that stands out as one of the most important platforms for supporting the development of innovative solutions in the field of mobility across Europe. And here, huge thanks, Dan, to you. I understand that you've been organizing this for a long time, so I understand that people who are here are the best of the best, so congratulations also to everyone in the room. In the era of rapid technological transformation and growing climate challenges, the role of startups in shaping the future of transportation cannot be overstated. It is innovative enterprises of the younger generation that introduce breakthrough technologies and concepts contributing to the creation of more sustainable, efficient, and accessible mobile systems. In this context, Polish startups play a particularly important role, gaining increasing recognition on the international stage. Nevomo, and I met, here we go, a colleague from the company, for example, is a Polish company whose groundbreaking transport technology solutions demonstrate that Polish innovation can have a real impact not only on the European market, but globally as well. The story of Nevomo, and I hope we hear a little bit more, is a perfect example of how determination, knowledge, and creativity can break technological barriers and create a new quality in mobility. However, the development of innovation and support for entrepreneurship would not be possible without the strategic role of public institutions. The Ministry of Development and Technology has consistently supported the startup ecosystems for years, creating conditions for growth, investment, and internationalization of Polish tech companies. I see that we are patting ourselves on the shoulder here, but I hope we are doing, as a ministry, a decent job on promoting this industry and internationalization of our tech companies. I would like to stress that innovation is a foundation of the future of our economy. And this is something we are discussing really in depth in the room next door, in the EU Industry Days. It's clear to everyone that without innovation we'll not transform Europe the way we want to transform. By supporting startups, we invest not only in modern technologies, but also in a potential of people who have the courage to change the world. The European Startup Prize for Mobility is not only a competition, but above all, a platform that opens extraordinary opportunities for young entrepreneurs, access to key investors, strategic partners, and global markets. This award represents a chance for Polish startups to showcase their value and intensify collaborations that will enable them to see the future trends. So I encourage you to network, meet at least 5 friends before you leave this room, because the people here are already the people you need to know if you don't know them already. I firmly believe that thanks to initiatives like this one and consistent support of the Ministry of Development and Technology, alongside the entire European continent, Poland will become a center of innovation and sustainable mobility development that meets the needs of both current and future generations. As Albert Einstein once said, imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world. Today, it is the imagination of Polish startups and their ability to create new solutions that set the direction for the future of mobility. At the same time, the unique knowledge and enthusiasm they share with us today educate and inspire the next generation of young, ambitious companies, giving us all hope for a bright future for Poland and Europe. I sincerely congratulate all participants and finalists and wish you continued success in achieving your ambitious goals. And I must say, feel very honored to be here with you, because I know there is a lot of great brains and great courage in this room to really take your ideas to concrete projects that can be finalists, and many of you will receive these beautiful awards. So it's fantastic to share a room and the space with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, State Secretary Baranowski, for your kind words and also your support for this prize. And Dan, you know, we should mention that our audience tonight is not just the lovely people we have with us here in Rzeszów, which I learned is known as
Aviation Valley.
Aviation Valley, exactly. So we're pleased to see everybody here in person, and
despite being Aviation Valley, quite a few of our audience got stuck with their flights on the way here. So even to Aviation Valley, and we're here to talk about smart mobility, it's not that easy. So that explains why we'll have to excuse a few who are in the program and are now in Warsaw, missing their connecting flights, and calling me hysterically saying we tried trains and taxis, and like, we're not getting to Rzeszów. The rain is probably not helping either. But sorry, I interrupted you. So who else is watching us other than here in the room?
Well, Dan, along with the people in person, we also have many viewers from across Europe and around the world who are watching online via the Brussels Times and also World Technology. So hello to all of our online viewers as well.
And whether you're here in the room with us or watching us right now online, tonight is about celebrating innovation, sustainability, and Europe's mobility pioneers. And the audience, both here in the room and the numbers online, tend to be in the hundreds of thousands, actually, in the last few ceremonies. So you will also have an important role to play, an active role when you see the pitches, but we'll come back to that
Yeah, we'll
later.
have the instructions about that a little bit later. So, Dan, Another very important supporter of the prize is, of course, the European Investment Bank, which is the world's largest climate lender. Pretty amazing. And we're very proud to have the EIB as our partner already for quite a number of years. So that means that the EIB reviews the top 50 startups and also identifies potential scale-ups to support. So that's pretty exciting for the participating startups for sure.
And with this in mind, tonight's keynote speaker is from the EIB. She's someone whose leadership has made major contribution to sustainable mobility, and we are delighted to have you with us, Vice President Czernovska, and we invite you as our keynote speaker. Please.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dear Minister. It's a great pleasure to be here today in Poland and welcome you to this ceremony. I'm really glad that we are meeting in Poland, in Rzeszów, and Minister have mentioned how important Rzeszów is on the map of Poland. It's not only aviation valley. We can say that this is industry hub and also great supporter to Ukraine. So I'm really happy to be here, really happy to be with you this year in person, because last year I couldn't make it. So today I'm really thrilled to listen to you, to ask questions, and also to get more familiar with all ideas and projects you will be presenting to the jury. It already has been mentioned, the EIB is the largest multilateral financial institution in the world and climate bank and a bank of the European Union. So you can imagine how important mobility is, smart mobility, sustainable mobility is for the EIB. As you very well know, mobility is both a major contributor to climate change and a powerful source of change. Cars alone account for around 16% of Europe's greenhouse gas emissions, but the transition is underway. New and more sustainable forms of mobility are rapidly taking over, and the number of vehicles powered by alternative fuels in the EU will likely surpass 20 million this year, and electric vehicles now make up over 15% of new passenger vehicle registrations. As the climate bank, the Bank of the European Union, the EIB, has the ambitious goal of dedicating more than 50% of our financing to climate action by 2025. We are well on way to achieving this very ambitious target, and in fact, only last year we dedicated more than 60% of our portfolio to the green and digital transformation. We believe really that innovation, as ministers have been mentioning, innovation is really the key to become more competitive, a key to become more sustainable, and a key to become more autonomous and resilient. This is why we decided to launch a new program, which is which is named Tech EU program, to dedicate additionally 70 billion euros of our financing in 2025 till 2027 to tech. And mobility is also among the areas which the program will be dedicated as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we really believe that large-scale transformative change starts with bold ideas and the people who make them happen. Today, we are very proud to support the European Startup Prize for Mobility to discover and celebrate some of the most promising innovators. And as Minister have been mentioning, I'm really proud to be here amongst so many entrepreneurs and also excellent brains. So we recognize the importance of support to the startups. So we recognize the importance of nurturing this entrepreneurial ecosystem, and startups needed dedicated support from early stage assistance to growth capital and beyond. As I have been mentioning today at the opening speech, almost 30% of unicorns born in the European Union in last 15 years left the EU, and majority of them, they left to the US. Why? Because it's not only about ideas. We have excellent brains, we have excellent ideas, we have almost all the conditions important for the developing of the ideas. But what we need more, we need solid financial ecosystem to finance companies from the startup to the IPO. So to accompany company from the beginning, from the company is born, through the stage of development, growth, and further, and scale up and further. Finally, let me mention that EIB is very proud to support entrepreneurs in the transport sector, because also when you look at our climate bank roadmap, it outlines how we aim to accelerate financing for the transport green transition. And transport is a key focus both in terms of decarbonization and resilience. So only last year we dedicated almost 1/3 of our financing to the transport sector in different ways. Just to give you a flavor of the range of figures I'm talking about, 1/3 of our lending, it means that 1/3 from 88 billion euros only in 2024. So we treat the investments in transport sector, in innovation, smart transport, very, very seriously. I strongly believe that the startups and scale-ups that succeeded in Europe's competitive environment will shape the world of tomorrow. So tonight, I'm expecting excellent presentations, thrilling ideas, and also keep my fingers crossed for the winner or the winners. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice President. And what you mentioned about the amounts that you're investing is extremely significant, because as I was saying earlier, our top 50 are always reviewed by your investment experts. So the potential is out there. And you're also the patron of one of our special prizes for tonight, which is Scale-Ups, and that we'll see later on. But Mariana, one person whose absence is very felt today, because she has been with us in every ceremony, because she is one of the 3 co-founders of this prize, is Karima Deli, who until recently was the chairwoman of the Transport Committee in the European Parliament. And she is among those who got stuck along the way. She sent me a video from the airport that she wanted us to play, which is a bit too late. I mean, extremely professional team here, but it was a bit too late. But I did just want to read some of her lines from that video that I watched before. She wishes to thank the Polish presidency. She wishes to thank the city and region of Rzeszów. Of course, over 500 startups who applied this year. They had to actively apply. We don't just pick them as candidates, but they had to fill out the application. And finally, as Karima does, she does finish with a quite political message, and she's saying, today is only the beginning, acceleration program, the networking, the European tour is ahead of you, and let me say that, here it is, the transition to sustainable mobility is not a luxury, it's a necessity. The climate won't wait, Mariana. Next generation won't wait. The future is in our hands, and it starts now. So this is a message from somebody who's stuck along the way. With that in mind.
Yeah, Dan, what I would like to do now is take just a moment to acknowledge the members of our jury tonight who will be voting on the startup pitches that we're going to be hearing in just a little while. I should mention that Vice President Czerwinska herself is a part of this jury. We're very honored that she is a part of it. And we also want to mention that this jury, of course, includes leaders from across Europe's. Can everybody see them? I'll get a good way. So it includes leaders from Europe's both public and private mobility ecosystem. And we're very, very honored to welcome all of them today.
So I mentioned one co-founder, two others did make it all the way here. So if you can see on the next slide, Boston Consulting Group and VID, who co-founded the prize together with Karima. Can we go to the next slide? Our European partners, European Investment Bank that we just mentioned, the French River Mobility Authority, VNF, Avens, Europcar Mobility Group, and Mariana, our ecosystem partners.
Exactly, we've got MasterCard.
That's not that one, but never mind. It's okay,
right?
go on.
Well, Europe's Rail Joint Undertaking, European Climate Foundation, Mobilians, Group ADP, Brisa Group, Nevomo, Lisboa, Unicorn Factory. So thank you to all of the partners for believing in startups and also believing in the future of sustainable transport. None of this would be possible without you all.
And what we're already seeing behind you, Mariana, is that we're not just recognizing the top 10, but also some startups that excelled in a very specific category. As you can see, I'm not going to read each of them behind you, but among them, female entrepreneur. I know that's important for you. Best scale-ups. So we will hear from some of the best startups in specific categories with a specific partner behind who selected them, the one that's close to their heart, and we will reveal them further on.
And also, what we hinted at already, you, our audience, will also get your say. So there will be a special prize for the audience favorite. And both you in person here in Rzeszów, as well as our online guests, will have an opportunity to vote. That will be after all of the pitches are complete. So you'll have your chance to vote for your favorite.
So that will be a special category and a favorite one. One more remote greeting comes from someone that you definitely want in your driver's seat for transport and tourism. The European Commission has been supporting us for many editions. Usually a commissioner was with us on stage. This year we invited Commissioner for Tourism and Transport. You pronounce it better than I do.
Apostolos Tzitzikostas. He's the European Commissioner for Sustainable Transport, Dan.
That's an important word.
And tourism. And I should mention, he also personally selected the Commission's Special Category Award for a Ukrainian startup, so we're going to hear about that. But unfortunately, like we have mentioned before, he also had a last-minute change to his agenda, and he couldn't make it, but he did send us his message per video, so let's have a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, while I regret not being there in person today, I'm truly honored to join, even virtually, for this celebration of innovation and excellence, the European Startup Prize for Mobility. This is a very special moment, marking the result of hard work behind Europe's most innovative and promising mobility startups. Startups and scale-ups are really driving Europe forward by bringing you fresh ideas, your new approaches, and your willingness to take risks. You are the ones pushing the boundaries of what is possible. You are the ones driving the transformation of our transport systems towards a more sustainable, efficient, and connected future. Look at the Estonian ride-hailing and micro-mobility company Bolt. Look at the German urban air mobility company Lilium. And at Sweden's electric scooter success story, Voi. They all began as start-ups. They attracted investment, and they have changed the way we think about mobility. In tourism, the other part of my portfolio, startups are reshaping the landscape of online tour booking, holiday rentals, and attraction ticketing. They are the driving force behind the sector's transition to a smarter, more sustainable future. Dear friends, we want more of these success stories. And this is why this Commission has put a renewed focus on competitiveness. You may have heard of the European Competitiveness Compass. It is a strategic framework guiding our efforts to foster sustainable competitiveness across various sectors, including, of course, transport. And at the heart of this compass is our commitment to supporting startups and scale-ups through initiatives such as the EU Startup and Scale-up Strategy and the European Innovation Act. We are also especially eager to see the results of the recently launched Mobility Challenge under the European Innovation Council Accelerator. Its goal is to support scalable, cost-effective, deep tech solutions that can significantly reduce emissions for the mobility sector. But in the meantime, we have other achievements to celebrate as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great opportunity to give well-deserved recognition to the startups and scale-ups driving innovation and growth in Europe, and I certainly look forward to hearing more about all of today's winners in the months, years, and decades to come. So congratulations once again, and this is my final message to all of you. Keep innovating, keep daring, keep moving Europe forward. Thank you.
Yes, so many thanks to the Commissioner for his inspirational words. Dan, I want to take a moment, though, to actually have a quick look at the journey that these startups have been on in order to even make it to the top 10, because it certainly has been quite a ride. So we kicked off the 6th edition of the prize in Monaco. It was last November.
Indeed, if you come closer to me.
Oh, yeah, I can get out of the way. Here we go. So that kickoff in Monaco last November was hosted by His Serene Highness Prince Albert II. So it was a royal kickoff. And from there, we opened the platform for applications.
And we got a lot of applications, over 500, as I mentioned. Now, if you can go to the next slide, from basically all eligible countries, so we go beyond the 27 EU countries, we go for Horizon countries, and we even went for past Horizon countries, so nobody can Brexit us, nobody can leave Horizon. Once you're in, you stay, and basically representation across. Like I mentioned, these are active applications. These are not people that we scouted for, but these are people who saw the added value of being part of this ecosystem. Then, just to explain to you how they managed to be here, so over 100 independent evaluators that our co-founders via ID managed to recruit. They evaluated, each of the application was read by several independent evaluators according to the same methodology that was developed by our co-founders. And based on their scores, we announced our top 50. If you can see the next slide, and we made that announcement in Change Now in Paris earlier this year.
Exactly. And then those 50 startups were interviewed by a jury panel to select the finalists that you're going to hear and see on stage tonight. So from there, the top 10 will move on to our acceleration program, which is powered by our co-founder VID, and join a European tour.
Which is my favorite part.
I know.
Last year we were all over the place in
Yeah.
Slush, in Helsinki, and in Web Summit
But
in
it's not
Lisbon.
just tourism, Dan. We have to.
It's sustainable tourism.
But it's also not just tourism. This is an opportunity for these startups to really showcase their solutions and, show what they can do on major stages across.
The real reason we're
across Europe.
going is indeed they get an opportunity to pitch in these places. They get a booth, so it's a visibility tour, and we make sure that we pick the most significant ones. Representatives of some of the events that we're going to this year are actually here in the room with us, but we will be at the IAA Mobility Exhibition, not far from where you live, in Munich. And TUM Venture Labs, explain to me again how to pronounce it in German.
Well, TUM is the acronym, but it's the Technische Universität München.
Somebody can confirm this in the back.
Technical University of Munich. They're venture labs, and that's who will also accompany our top 10.
And they will accompany our top 10 alongside with our co-founders, and they are also throwing a ultimate European startup party in the city center of Munich.
Very
so
beautiful.
that will be the place where our startups will pitch in their first stop of our tour. Then where are you off to next?
Katowice.
So not far from here, conference that you know very well.
That's right. I'll be there too, I should mention. So.
Um,
Well, we should mention what it is. It's the New Mobility Congress, and it is the flagship mobility event of Central and Eastern Europe, so it's a really big, fabulous event.
and you strongly recommend it because you moderated for them last
did.
year, so
I'm
we're
gonna be there
going,
this
we're going
year again.
back.
Exactly.
Then
So-
next,
So next stop, Bus World Europe in Brussels, which is your town.
Indeed.
Can I say that?
Yeah, it's my town.
And what is Bus World, Dan?
It's your color, but I'll read it anyway. So it's the world's largest event for buses and coaches. She's insane with the color coding, but okay. And it's covering a vast array of mobility-related technologies. So it's not just buses and coaches, it's basically anything related to security, to connectivity, to shared. So basically, they're really, it's huge. It's like 40,000 people in Brussels, so we're very glad to bring our winners to pitch there.
So they're not only going to be traveling here and traveling there, they're also, at least the top 4 winners are going to get strategic consultancy from Boston Consulting Group, which is very exciting. And what else, Dan?
And they will get a visibility package at Web Summits and free support from the Climate Dividends Association, which will help them measure their positive climate contributions. So there's a lot of different partners of the ecosystem, private, public, who are going to pitch in and make sure that these startups excel. We scouted them based on their potential, but basically now we try to push them to the next level.
Yeah, so they will definitely be very, very busy.
Okay,
After
so
this
now,
prize.
what's going to happen now?
So now, Dan, we need to speak to our jury members to explain how all of this is going to work. So the jury members...
Pay attention, it's a bit confusing.
It's not that confusing, but we do want to make sure it's clear for everybody. So the jury members will be scoring each startup immediately after they pitch. So they have their QR code that they need to scan, and they're able to evaluate each pitch based on 4 criteria. Those are innovation, execution, impact, and presentation.
And if you haven't found the QR code, you have a chocolate under your seat, it's there. It's hidden.
So for our audience, it's a little bit different. So whether audience here in Rzeszów are the ones who are watching online, you'll get a chance to vote, but only after all of the pitches. So let me explain how it works. So again, the jury will evaluate every pitch as it's performed or carried out. The audience will vote only once for your favorite single startup, and only after you've seen all 10 of the pitches. And then the popular vote, I should mention, once the 10th pitch is done, the popular vote will be open for 10 minutes. So you can think about everything you've seen and then select your favorite. So we do want to make sure that this voting procedure for our audience, which is sort of spontaneous and only 10 minutes, that it's easy and everybody knows what they need to do. So Dan, can we test it out quickly?
Yeah, let's make sure that you have it on your phones if you're watching us. So it's basically a Slido tool. So if you're here and you're not jury and you want to vote, I suggest that you take out your phones and scan this QR code. If you're watching us on the website of the Brussels Times, right next to where you're seeing this, what's on the right for them? Like this I should do? I think so,
I
no?
don't know.
What's right for the viewers on their screens?
They'll figure it.
They'll figure it out. On the right side of the screen,
yeah.
there will be that box where they can vote. If you're
Okay.
seeing us on social media, on YouTube or on Facebook or on LinkedIn, either you manage to catch the QR code or you go to slido.com/EUSP
You better check.
2025.
Okay.
2025, not 25. So as you can see, we're not just here in Rzeszów. There's a bunch of people who are here, but I love the person who wrote Switzerland.
Switzerland, were they Schwitz?
Emirates?
Bucharest, Munich, Helsinki, Luxembourg. Somebody's in the second row. That's good to know. Fantastic.
So, so
Okay.
keep that page open, especially if you're watching us, because as Mariana said, it's going to be brief. We're going to open, we're going to close, and that's going to be your opportunity to vote. One of these beautiful trophies will go to the audience favorite. So if you want to take yet another trophy, this is your chance. Now what?
Dan, finally, we want to get to the actual pitches.
At last.
At last. Okay, so are we ready?
Are we ready? Yes, I think we're ready.
Okay, so can we get a jingle?
Let's
for
get
the
a
pitching?
jingle. Okay, so first of all, we're revealing for the first time 5 of the 10 winners of this year. I think we can give them a round of applause. These are the ones who made it through. Your comms teams back home can now announce it on your social media. I know it was important for you, and we asked you to wait. So even though you're all winners and you have made it among the over 500 applicants, we are going to treat it as a fair competition among the winners, which means that each pitch will get exactly 3 minutes to pitch, and then those jury front row, you may ask a question if there's something that you'd like to know from the startups, and then each startup will get 1 extra minute to answer. Maximum.
Yeah, we're working with timers, so everybody has a fair amount of time. Keep it very fair.
So jury, be gentle, but not too gentle. Grill them.
Okay.
Our first one
is Cell Life, and we'd like to invite to the stage the co-founder and CEO, Roni Lutala. Welcome. All right.
So, hello everyone and hello Europe. I'm Dr. Roni Luhtala, CEO and one of the co-founders of Cell Life. Cell Life is a Finnish deep tech company providing truly scalable and advanced diagnostic solutions for the battery industry. And the European battery industry, it's in trouble. Media did a pretty good job for me and introduced the problem quite well, I would say. To pick one sad example, it would be the Gigafactory project from the Northern Europe that spent 16 billion euros, unfortunately including 1 billion from the European Investment Bank, and still couldn't ramp up the production. This all happened because of the bad quality and the quality issues. And bad quality battery cells, they are also causing these massive EV recall campaigns that have happened almost for every EV brand. And they can cost hundreds of millions each. But why? Why this is so hard and how is this even possible? Okay. The battery cell manufacturing, it's really complex and challenging manufacturing process, including roughly 200 different process steps that all need to be succeed to produce high-quality battery cells. And in addition to that cell, it's like a rotten apple in a basket. One single battery cell can ruin the performance of the whole battery pack and battery system. For example, the EV. So it's extra important that all 100% of the battery cells and batteries are accurately tested during the manufacturing process. And that's not happening today. And that's because of bad testing bottlenecks. Approximately only 1% of the battery cells are now accurately tested. And that's not working as you saw. But luckily, Cell Life has a solution, the world's fastest and the most accurate battery measurement technology, electrical fingerprint, EFP measurement technology. Our patented measurement, it collects huge amount of relevant battery data, 2,000 data points in just 2 to 5 seconds. And that's everything you need for the really accurate and comprehensive battery quality control. We developed this solution for over 10 years in Tampere University, but now we are ready to provide this laboratory scale accuracy to the production lines. Europe needs batteries now and in the future. We need high quality production in here, in Europe. Cell Life is here to help, but we need to act now. Thank you.
So, thank you very much. And now, jury, if you have one follow-up question, you have 1 minute to answer it. So any quick question from our jury? No questions?
Maybe in the audience, otherwise?
Yeah?
Could you tell us a little bit more about how your technology compares to the competitors?
Yeah.
The question was about competition.
Yes. So nowadays, like the main quality control methods, they are like CT scanning or cycling tests. They take from 10 minutes to even 8 hours to test one battery. And we can do all this in just 2 to 5 seconds and provide these advanced diagnostics on top of this.
All right, thank you very much. Within the allotted time, many thanks indeed.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So,
Where are we going next? From Finland to...
from Finland, we're heading, well, to a true cross-border collaboration, Dan, because the next startup we're going to hear from comes from 2 countries. Maybe they have twice the charm, I don't know. In any event, we're excited to welcome Future Rail from France/Germany, and Alex Haag, the CEO, is ready to give us his pitch. So the floor is yours.
Thank you.
The clock is going.
So I came this morning by train from Munich with the night train. Trains are great. They're the lowest carbon mode of transportation. It's a big industry and it's growing. But for a sustainable future, we need many more trains. So when we talk to train operators, they all complain about driver shortage being a major limitation to their growth. The good news is that for every train that you automate, you save 5 driver positions. Also, because drivers are highly qualified, it takes up to 500k euros to run a train, to operate a train per year. So with autonomous trains, you can have more frequent train, better service, which means more passengers, more revenue, better asset utilization, and eventually higher profit for the operators. However, it's important to have a step-by-step approach. For us, we go as quickly as possible to driverless operations, but we do this on the simplest environment for the simplest tasks, which are depot automation and industrial site automation. From there, we go to branch lines and then eventually to main lines for both freight and passengers. The core of what we develop is the obstacle detection that monitors the environment and assesses if there's any danger in front of the train to slow it down if this is the case. We also do the safety certification of our system. What makes us unique is that we've collected a large and diverse data set thanks to our partnership with infrastructure managers like Infrabel. We also have developed proprietary technology and IP specifically for rail environments. And last but not least, we've assembled a team with over 50 years of combined experience in AI, software, and safety. With 12 people in total, and my two co-founders you see on the picture here, Patrick has a computer vision PhD from TUM, and Max, our chief commercial officer, has been running multiple startups, including Cirque in mobility and HKs in autonomous vehicles. Myself, I led the autopilot team at Tesla in Palo Alto, and I built Audi's corporate startup for robotaxi from 0 to 300 people in 3 years in Munich. This has allowed us to secure major customers, including a battery-powered train for secondary lines in France, where Lohr is the manufacturer and SNCF is the end customer, the operator, and also an autonomous freight wagon in the US with parallel system. So we're convinced that autonomous trains are the future for sustainable mobility and logistics, that the market and the tech are ready, and that Futurewell is well positioned to capture that 100 billion opportunity. We're currently raising a 5 million seed round and continue to look for industrial partner. So if you believe in our mission, please come talk to me afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. I think if everybody came by train, we would have more people here. I came from Brussels. Half the plane came for EU Industry Days. Half of them are still in Warsaw because the flight came late. So if everybody came like you by train...
And the train was on time.
Our carbon footprint would be different and we would have more people. But anyway, members of the jury, anything that you found intriguing or you want clarifications on? It's now or never. It's never. Okay, great. Thank you very much. We're moving on to the next one. So the next one is the only startup who couldn't make it today. They come from Switzerland. Hive Power is our third one. They actually knew a few days in advance that they were not able to make it. We made an exception. Every edition before, we always had the founders on stage. This is the first time that we made an exception to this brilliant Swiss startup, and we invited them to send us their video pitch, which means that we will not vote on them. It's not the same experience as standing on stage, but we still gave them the opportunity to present their technology, if we can watch it now. And I told them it has to be exactly 3 minutes like the others. Please, let's watch Gianluca from Hive Power.
Hello everyone, my name is Gianluca Corbellini and I am CEO and co-founder at Hive Power. We all love renewables, but they are intermittent and uncontrollable, and this is driving an unprecedented intraday volatility in energy prices, which means that during the same day we can have very high, very low, or even very negative energy prices on the market. This is a big challenge if you are an energy trader or if you are a big electricity consumer. The problem number 2 is in the infrastructure. So on electric grids, the main challenge is always to balance perfectly demand and production. And with increasing penetration of renewables, this is becoming more and more challenging. But the good news is that with new batteries, electric vehicle charging, solar, and even heat pumps, we can offer way more flexibility to electric grid operators to stabilize the electric grids. And that's where we jump in. So with our solution called Flexo, which stands for Flexibility Orchestrator, we enable automated flexibility optimization using these assets at the best time, at the best price, and with a seamless user experience. Let's see how it works. It's a B2B white label solution that provides automated monitoring, optimal control of these assets, ready to integrate APIs, and of course, we are already into value stacking, so aggregating multiple use cases together in order to provide the maximum value possible to our customers. We are basically connected to existing IoT layers, which enables us to monitor and control these distributed and very numerous assets on the field. And we are connected on the top with big energy companies, like some of the global leaders across Europe, to provide access to energy spot markets or also ancillary services for electric grids. We are really doing today value stacking already. So we do price arbitrage, which is the low-hanging fruit today on hourly prices, basically charging the vehicles when it's cheaper or operating batteries against this intraday volatility. Then we are also active in Switzerland with transmission system operators, grid services, basically to balance at the national level supply and demand of electricity. We're now entering multiple new countries very soon with these services. And we are running some pilots across some European countries for also local flexibility for districts. So basically, we want to avoid congestions in the low and medium voltage grids, because sometimes too much solar or too much EV charging demand could really put our local grids at risk. Our business model is very classic, I would say, software as a service, B2B. We have an annual platform fee and then a price per asset, or we're now testing a revenue sharing mechanism with our partners, basically to just take a cut of the profits that we are enabling. We're already working with a number of global leaders. You can recognize easily some big energy players or some leading automotive industries and even dealerships or mobility services companies. But this is just the beginning. We have a massive pipeline for the coming years. Thanks a lot for your attention. We're very excited to be here today, and I really encourage you to get in touch with me and our team to learn more about our solution and potentially working together. Thank you.
Okay. So now we're back to the live pitching, and I'm very pleased to invite to the stage from the UK, the COO of Laka, Jens Hartwig. Is it a Jens, like a German Jens? All right, happy to see a British startup at the finals. We want to un-Brexit a little bit. So the stage is yours, the clock is ready, and we're ready for your pitch. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, I'm Jens from Laka, and we believe that we do insurance better than anyone else. But let me talk about why is insurance broken. Insurance company makes money by taking premiums up front and then managing and rejecting claims. That's ultimately the business model of insurance, but it creates an awkward misalignment of incentives because you want your claim paid and the insurance company wants to reject it. So we came up with flipping the model of insurance. We fixed the root cause of the misaligned interest by changing how we make money. When we settle claims, we charge a fee on top. We call it a collective insurance model. And how it works is, we take all of those claims we paid out at the end of the month and spread them across our collective of cyclists. We charge a quick fee on top, and as you can see, the fee varies month to month, but we give you a maximum price. So you have the safety of knowing what to pay, but we always give you the best price in a month. Now we have grown the business across 3 dimensions. First, we have a subscription-based insurance model across the UK and Europe. We offer cover options like theft and damage to cyclists, direct to consumer, and people love it. We also partner with manufacturers and with retailers to embed and distribute insurance at the point of sale and in their apps. And lastly, the thing that makes us most unique is actually the thing that's the least insurance. It's called ancillary services, and we are already writing a quarter of our business just via that unit. But let me tell you a bit more about that. Traditionally, when you have a claim or when an insurer has a claim, they typically take it in, pay it out, or reject it. But because the claim is such a fundamental moment in that journey, we decide to double down on it. So for instance, what happens is when there is a claim, a bike gets stolen, we work together with e-bike manufacturers to try to track and recover bikes. So we're already involved in that process. If we can't recover a bike, we then actually work with the claimant together to not just pay out cash, but actually replace the bike. Lastly, whenever in this process we are actually able to salvage parts of the bike or e-scooter, then we're putting it back into the system, so upcycling and recycling. So we recover, we replace and reuse, and by doing that we are able to A, make insurance more affordable for micromobility users, but B, also reduce waste. This unique approach has led us to 5 million ARR just recently. Just last year, we have settled 6,000 claims and have diverted waste in the amount of 658 kilograms. We are Lacke, we are the micromobility partner of choice, and we are backed by the best in the ecosystem. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jens. Don't run away yet. Don't run away yet. In case there is one follow-up question for you. So first of all, he was right on target. So
bonus points.
Bonus points, maybe, maybe not. And now, if there's a quick question from the jury or maybe even from the audience, just to follow up on what you've heard in the pitch.
Well, no question is actually a good sign. It means the pitch was not only on time, but
or clear.
Holistic.
Oh, no, there is somebody in the audience. So wait, if you can just hang a second. We do have a microphone. There's a question.
Oh, right there. It wasn't for... Okay.
So, and we have the...
Hi. I was just curious, would your model also work for more expensive assets, like light commercial vehicles, for example?
Generally, yes. It basically just depends on the size of the pool. But if the collective is big enough, so to speak, no problem.
Good. Quick question, quick answer. Many thanks indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are we back in the EU, or where are we traveling next?
Well, we're going to Switzerland. And we're going to hear from the co-founder and CBO of Locho. Is that how I would pronounce it? Lara Amini Wrench. There she is. Did I pronounce the startup name correctly?
She's about to correct you in her pitch, I'm sure.
It's pronounced Loxo.
Loxo, okay, there we go. So at least now we know how to pronounce it correctly. The stage is yours.
Thank you.
So the clock is ready, and we're looking forward to your pitch.
Thank you. Very nice to be here. So my name is Lara Amini. I'm a Swiss engineer, and I'm the co-founder of Loxo. So I believe the future of delivery has actually no driver, because I wish that our cities are not anymore clogged by light commercial vehicles, by vans. We have better or less CO2 and noise emission in logistics. And that's why we co-founded Loxo 4 years ago, to build autonomous solutions for the goods transportation, specifically for city and urban applications. because actually urban logistics is at the breaking point. I'm pretty sure you all know about the really big challenge they have. Every year we have more packages, so the volumes are growing. At the same time, drivers quit their jobs and we cannot replace the open positions. So it's an equation, doesn't work, more volumes, less drivers. And that's where Loxa come in. We developed the Loxa Digital Driver. It's a software that enables light commercial vehicles to drive autonomously and do the goods transportation, as I said, in cities and urban areas. So we have 4 key points that makes our solution unique. First of all, it's hardware agnostic, so we can actually integrate our software to any type of light commercial vehicles, as you see it in an example in the VW ID bus. On the other hand, we don't need like this field mapping that we have to go on field map everything is super expensive, not really scalable, so that we don't have to do. Then we are already street authorized in Switzerland for some years and also in Germany for hopefully the next 2-3 weeks. And last and not least, and this is really the most important point, we have a very unique architecture from our software, which allows us to be on the road level 4 already since 2 years. So we think our approach is really, of course, also AI-based, but it's not AI first. And that's actually how we can make it on public road and that we are compliant with all regulations we need for type approval in the next years. So as I said, we are already doing and running in the streets. Since 2023, we were the first level 4 application in Europe without safety driver, actually. Since then, we do last mile deliveries, we do middle mile deliveries. Since 9 months, we're running through Bern, the capital of Switzerland, and do mainly 65 kilometers autonomously and deliver parcels. We reduce CO2, obviously, but we also reduce costs 30 to 50%. And we also have a very important factor. We reduce the driver shortage from 1 driver observing 1 vehicle to 1 driver observing 10 vehicles. So with that, we actually want to set really new standards in autonomous urban mobility. We are on track because we have actually the most experienced digital driver for the moment in urban applications. And we are up to scale in the next year to 100 vehicles on public roads. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, with 10 seconds to spare. So now, quickly, if there's one question for startup. Yep, we have somebody right here. Oh, no. Oh my goodness. The flowers.
Thank you for your pitch. I had a very pragmatic question, which is, so you make the vehicle autonomous so it can carry the load from a warehouse to the place of delivery. But how do you actually get the goods out of the truck? And basically, how do you automate? Do you look for partners or do you have other solutions?
So for the first question, we have several applications. If it's a B2B model, of course, then usually the business partner is waiting for the packages. So this is usually not a problem. When it's a B2C delivery, there are several ways to do it. We have a customer that they wanted to send to their final customers like codes, so they have to come out of the house and pick up the stuff. And of course, one nice solution in future would be to maybe integrate it to robots that can then bring it to the doorstep. But to be honest, I think this is, for the moment, the biggest challenge autonomous vehicles have in home delivery. And this is maybe not the best application. So we are very focused on B2B and maybe also more the middle mile applications in the first moment, yeah. And what do you mean with what's our solution for automation, in which regard?
No, I was just wondering in general if you were thinking about partnering with other people that indeed might do some robotic applications or other things to
exactly.
unlock.
So for the last mile door delivery, yeah, we are considering other companies as well, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You.
Fantastic.
With punctuality, it was perfectly on time.
So unbelievable. So that certainly was an impressive first round of pitches, and I have to say that all of you are really raising the bar on innovation in sustainable mobility, and from there, we need to get the votes of the jury in. So jury members, please make sure to submit your evaluations. So click the submit button for the first 5 startups right now.
It's only then that the back end will actually see them. So everything you voted until now, until you hit submit, we don't see it, so we cannot make sure that we get them on time.
We need you to do that now. For the audience, again, another reminder, you'll have a chance to vote once we've seen the second round of 5 startups and their pitches. Once they're done, then you get to choose your favorite out of the 10.
Exactly.
So, all right. So, jury, have you submitted? Yes?
Good.
Good. Okay.
We'll check.
So, now, Dan, before we do move on to the next round of pitches, if you don't mind,
You take a break.
I'll take a break, not too long, but I'll hand over to
Go
you
freshen up.
to have,
Thank you,
to have a
Mariana.
conversation with our public authority partners.
We brought her all the way from Deutsche Welle in Berlin.
I did, yes.
Instead of presenting the depressing news, she's here with us, presenting uplifting, inspiring, sustainable innovations.
It's true. It's really a joy. All right. We'll see you after the roundtable.
Okay, so we're taking a break from the pitches. We're going to switch to the first roundtable, which is of public institutions. And I'd like to invite on stage Excellency Ambassador of Monaco of His Serene Highness Prince Albert II, Mr. Lorenzo Ravano. Thank you for being with us. Giorgio Travaini, Executive Director of Europe's Rail Joint Undertaking. Good to see you again. Cédric Pelletier, Consul General of France in Krakow. Thank you for being with us. Antoni Biewicz, here you are, yes, Executive Director of the European Climate Foundation. And last but not least, saving our shameful gender balance is Perrine Lavelle, Head of Europe of the European French National Authority for River Mobility, also known as Voies Navigables de France, VNF. Please take your seats. I think we're missing one, but I'll stand in the meantime. So I'll start with you, Giorgio, if you could grab the mic. So you're looking for innovation. You've been with us, I have to say, from the first edition. You're looking for innovation in rail. Rail is particular. We're not seeing as many innovations. I have to say that it's always more difficult to scout because the partners look at all of the applications, not only the winners, and we're always trying to find innovations for you. But your sector is particular in rail. What makes it so difficult? What can we do about it?
Thank you, Dan. First of all, I'm happy to be here, and I don't have an institutional speech for this. So I really would like also to look forward for your ideas, because I have my conception of why it's so difficult for startups to join the ecosystem. And maybe I touch a couple of points, but I would like also to hear from you. And I know a few of you, well, Future Rail is there, Nevomo is there, but obviously we need much more. So one thing that I see very difficult for the startup, but actually for any companies to make a breakthrough innovation in the rail system is that the rail is a system. And any changes that you need to apply to it require significant investments and the consensus among stakeholders. And this is, by the way, the reason why we have created Europe's Rail. Europe's Rail is a partnership between the European Union and the private sector. At the moment, within its member, the major player. But I don't see any reason why in the future the membership should not be extended to those that actually break the innovation. But at the end, this innovation needs to be inserted into a system. We need to have standards being changed. We need to have regulation being adapted. And we need also to no issue. And we need also to make sure that those that get the benefit are either the same that make the investments, or otherwise we need to find the financial compensation measures for this. And this is very complex. But maybe the floor to you, if I may, Dan, ask the question to those of you that try to enter in the rail sector.
I'm not sure you'll find many here in this room, but yeah, let's try. Because I think that, as you mentioned, rail is quite specific. Maybe next ceremony we'll open the Slido also for getting input from the online audience to see that we can get that kind of input. But yeah, please, can we send this wasn't planned, this wasn't in the script, but let's do it.
I got it planned. Yeah, I'm Harold. I'm from Norway. We deliver a software platform for cities. And we're definitely feeling all of these challenges because we have definitely we've got a proven solution, and why is things not progressing further? And I think it's basically two things. people need a little bit more of bravery. People need to stick out their heads from in public sector, especially, to do something new. And actually, they should be measured on coping from their peers, not always trying to inventing the wheel all over again. We need to be better at copying, definitely. And second thing is people don't know how to procure. We know the procurement system better than the people that we are selling to. And so we need to raise the competency in the public sector and probably also simplify the procurement system a little bit so it's easier to actually start copying from your peers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was wrong. Talent is here, answer is here. You knew what you were doing.
Thanks a lot, and this giving ideas, because we needed to reflect also at European Union level how to, let's say, enable these. And for example, especially the second point, how do you procure? It's a key element and something that most probably we can also address in Europe's rate. Thanks.
Thank you, Giorgio. So from the European level to the French level, we have a lot of track record in France for the prize. We did 2 of our ceremonies inside the Ministry of Transport with 2 previous ministers, including last year's. But I'd like to ask you about some of the recent announcement that President Macron made about attracting international talent to Europe in general, but to France in particular, and ask you what kind of incentives. We heard a little bit about Poland trying to give incentives and attract talent. What is France doing in order to attract mobility entrepreneurs?
Well, thank you very much, and let me tell you, I'm also delighted to be here with you today. I'm driving from Krakow, so that was not as complicated, I think. Basically, the question you ask is how do we make sure that Choose France is not only a slogan, but what can we, as public authorities, put behind this logo to make you choose France? I think it's multifaceted. I think that it's not a single answer to that. It's more a few things to add together. So first of all, I want to remind you that France, as was reminded by EY, France Attractiveness Survey, France has confirmed its leadership position in Europe in 2024 as the most attractive destination for foreign investment. I think that it can be seen as a vote of confidence, and it reflects, first of all, the strengths of our economy in the difficult times that we know, but also the long-term choices that France has made in strategic sectors like agri-food, energy, which is quite crucial, artificial intelligence, and quantum research. So that's one aspect of things. The other one is probably ecosystem. I think we alluded to that question of a vibrant ecosystem, and France is number 1 in Europe for industrial projects and R&D investments. We have a very strong innovation ecosystem, and we have a very good research, science, industry, startups, scale-ups, industrial players as well, and I think that we can see the France 2030 as a very big driver for that. We have a national investment plan focused on building the economy of the future. We are, for instance, dedicating 2.5 billion euros to upskilling. I mean, skills are obviously crucial in our economy, and the goal here is to train 400,000 people per year in high-demand sectors, whether it's quantum technologies I was alluding to, or battery production, which will, of course, interest a few of you, or we are trying to prepare the pipeline of talents, and that I think is also crucial. Something else that very often comes back to us is we need simplification. We need to cut the red tape, and France has been very proactive in that. Since 2023, you have a fully digital platform that can streamline business creation and registration procedures, replacing, I think it was over 50 paper forms. We all put them together, and we try to help SMEs mostly in gaining time in cutting through red tape. But this being said, we also need to attract talents, and I think that's also a crucial aspect. So outside of the lifestyle we can have in France, we want to retain and attract talents from international perspective through the French tech visa, for instance. It offers a fast and simplified residence permit to tech founders, employees and investors, no diploma requirements, and full support for families. This reflects, I think, and showcases our ambition to make France a global hub for tech talents. And we are also, and you alluded to it once more, support top-tier researchers. Just last month, President Macron launched the Choose France for Science platform, committing 100 million euros to co-fund international research collaborations in strategic domains, climate science, AI, once more, health, space. So all in all, I would say that to summarize that, the incentives are numerous, but with the main objective to be as attractive as possible, but also to listen to you. And that, I think, is the key factor. France is here, is open, and will want to hear back from you and try to work alongside you once more to be attractive and moving forward. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. And simplification of red tape is also a topic that was very dominant across the streets on the main event. So it's something that's on everybody's mind, both at European level and French. I'm also wondering if the copywriters of Choose France and Choose Europe were talking to each other between Paris and Brussels.
We always communicate.
But you're both, You're both France and Europe, so you're fine. Whatever you do, we're there. So staying in France for another moment, Perrine Lavelle from Voies Navigables de France. We spoke about rail being very particular. River mobility is not the easiest either. So how do you bring startups as a national authority, and what is your strategy and approach to open innovation, other than coming to the European Startup Prize to find startups for your strategy?
Thank you for organizing this Startup Prize. It's the second year for Voies Navigables de France, and for different reasons that I will explain, we're very happy to be part of the adventure.
Do elaborate.
I do. So we are the manager of the river infrastructure. So basically, we are not the ports, we are not the logisticians, we are not the shippers, we don't own vessels. But we have the systemic vision of all of this, and we pave the way to the entire non-waterway transport sector. Mm-hmm. So when we think about innovation, even though our team are mostly teams of engineers working on infrastructure, we always keep an eye on all these aspects I discussed. So of course, on the maintenance, but also on decarbonization and greening the fleet. So discussing about alternative fuels, about the engines, about the shape of the boat, etc., autonomous boats. And we also keep an eye on the natural patrimony, the environment, the biodiversity, and we are also involved in digital issues. So on all of this, we always try to think a bit above the normal situation and look for innovative ways to improve our efficiency of performance. And this is what brings us to startups in general. Mm-hmm. So
I'm glad to hear that it's working well. You're turning not only to France, you're looking across Europe, you're looking for innovations that can help you reach those KPIs that you mentioned.
Yeah, but in general, we are in contact with a lot of most of the startups working on river mobility. So with the Startup Prize, that brings us to a larger set of startups. And so, what do you want to know? How we work with them afterwards?
Yeah, maybe in a few words.
So what we do is that we involve them in our daily development action. So we bring them with us. In our river dating event, in all our business events, our B2B events, and we put them in contact with our internal networks of experts. So we have internal task force, and we invite the startups to participate. So then they have a vision of who are the end users and what is the complexity of the sector and how they can. Upgrade their approach and mature it.
And you mentioned this is the second edition, and this edition, again, you will also sponsor a special prize in river mobility. I have some bad news for you. I didn't manage to catch you before the stage. Your winner is also stuck in Warsaw. I haven't checked Google Maps. I don't know if there's a river between Warsaw and here. They're looking for ways to join us desperately, and they're yet another.
They will come by boat.
The trophy is here. You will find a way to give it to them, but yeah. I think they can have a party in Warsaw and watch us together, basically, all the people who got stuck along the way. But
let's do that.
From France back to European level, so I'd like to turn to you, Executive Director Anthony. As you hear from the partners, they come for different reasons. Usually it's a mix. They're looking for innovation, they want to be more sustainable. Of course, impact is at the heart of the prize. It was a collaboration between a politician who was very strong about sustainability and the private sector. But we've been working with you at the European Climate Foundation also for a few editions now. And of course, your main objective is to see that the most impactful technologies are the ones that actually succeed. So my question to you, and you might turn it back to me, is how do we make sure that the most climate-impacting innovations scale fast? As I quoted Karima, we need it not now, we need it yesterday. How do we push those technologies further?
This is a great question, by the way, and it made me think very carefully about my answer. Honestly, first of all, of course, I really appreciate that you understand that the impact of all these technologies and innovations is absolutely crucial. We have no time, basically, because of the fact of the climate change that is accelerating, and we need more and more of different technical measures to actually tackle that. And what to do to scale that up and to do it fast? I think that the state has a very important role, plays a very important role in that. And apart from these things that all vibrant, efficient, innovative ecosystems should represent, like, highly educated sector, some sort of subsidies, vibrant platforms representing the offering a space to present the ideas. The state should provide at least 3 specific measures. First of all, predictable, clear public policies that are adjusted to the requirements of the market, requirements of the pace of the climate change and everything behind it. Second of all, package of standards. This is very important in accelerating every technologies that are tackling climate change and impact of climate change, because it's not only about the innovation, but it's also about the sustainability of those technologies. And the third one, which is very important, is of course something that I called the pace of adaptation. And in that case, it means creating the demand by subsidies, of course, by standards, of course, but also by creating public pressure on consumers and other elements of the ecosystem to engage with those, to implement those technologies, to take advantage of those innovations. And that would be probably 3 key pillars of a speeding up of adaptation of that kind of technologies.
Thank you. And for this reason, indeed, we're so happy to have the European Climate Foundation part of our ecosystem, because you're the only philanthropy as in our partnerships. And I think that this is a unique perspective that is very much needed. I know that your CEO, Laurence Tubiana, also wanted to be with us and wasn't able to make it, but she did send us a short message. So before we move on, if we can just see quickly the voice of the CEO of the European Climate Foundation. Yes, no? Should we come back to it later? Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'm very sorry not to be with you today to celebrate your winnings. I want to send you my warm congratulations to this year's winners and to all the finalists of the European Startup Prize for Mobility. Mobility is so important to connect people, for really cohesion of the societies, just to combat the feeling of isolation. So mobility is a key element of our social contract, and a clean one, of course, is absolutely central. And of course, you are building this through very, very impressive project, and I really want to congratulate you again for the substance of what you are doing. It's really a real response to the big climate challenge. You know that mobility is one of the big factors of emissions, and if we don't find the solution, but again, the just solutions, the inclusive solution will not get it. So it's really politically, locally, nationally, and globally very, very important. I think we have to make this effort, of course, in Europe and beyond, because this for the moment, that is really a hard nut to crack to have a resilient mobility system. And of course, we have some solutions, but they are far from being a system that we can really address and really resolve the climate change issue through this. So I know you need the right environment to succeed as a startup. You need an ambitious climate policy to give the signals. You need smart industrial strategy and public investment, of course. And you know the trade policies that ensure a level playing field for all of you really to succeed. Because, and recognize at the same time that we are independent, even codependent from the rest of the world. So it's up to the rest of us, the government, the philanthropy, the public institutions, finance, to create the condition for you to thrive. And you can. And in Europe, we have all the talent to do that. So thank you for what you are doing. Once again, congratulations. And you are really a vital part of this effort. So again, startup, but so promising. Thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you. And I'd like to turn to you, Ambassador Ravano. So His Serene Highness Prince Albert II has been with the prize also for a few editions. He came all the way to Brussels to our second edition. His bodyguard almost punched me because we flew drones to do the final picture. And yeah, they protect him really well. But he himself was always very, very supportive. And the opening of this edition we did in Monaco, in his presence, under his patronage. So that's something we very much appreciate. But Monaco is interesting from an innovation perspective also because as a microstate, it can also serve as a test bed, as an incubator for new innovations. I know that the Prince is very sensitive to that. He's also presiding the foundation of Prince Albert II, which also invests in sustainable mobility, and you will also give a special prize on maritime technology, which is of particular interest for a coastal state like yours, but specifically on the way that it's a very unique case, the Principality of Monaco. How do you attract innovation, and how do you make that how do you make use of the particularity of Monaco in order to push new sustainable innovations?
Well, thank you very much for this question. I'm very pleased to represent His Serene Highness Prince Albert of Monaco. I know he supported this prize, and he has given his patronage for a special prize. You know, Monaco is in a very specific situation. Given its extreme constraint of geography, and the ambitions of the sovereign princes throughout the centuries, the Principality has long been had a strong appetite for innovation. Imagine that 150 years ago, Monaco was absolutely not what Monaco is today. And only through innovation and reinventing its own destiny, you can bring a territory of 2 square kilometers to being one of the most renowned on Earth. Now with...
So how? Teach us how. We all want to turn 2 square kilometers into a little Monaco.
How? It's not like a recipe that is exact, you know? It is all along the centuries that, for example, of course, the casino in the 19th century was the idea that made Monaco take off. Today, the casino represents less than 1% of Monaco revenue. So this is another, you know, stereotype that people think that Monaco is still Monaco only due to the casino. Absolutely not. But at that time, it was a great vision and a great idea. Now, in the modern times, let's say, with the digital transition, with every, you know, what it imposes, but also all the opportunities that it gives, I think that the appetite for innovation is even bigger. A few years ago, Prince Albert II launched the Extended Monaco Initiative, setting out a bold vision of digital transformation from the Principality. And this has already, you know, been achieved. We have nationwide 5G coverage. I think we were the first country, even if the territory is smaller, but we were the first country in the world to have nationwide 5G coverage. We have e-government, e-administration, we have even a sovereign cloud. Besides that, Monaco, the government also launched in 2017 Monaco Tech, who is an incubator and accelerator for startups in early stages from all over the world who are willing, to grow internationally and with new ventures from Monaco. It's an 18-month program with really tailored support, with financial fundraising, with business meetings opportunities, and so forth and so on, like any let's say, incubator.
We should talk about it and see how to bring our community of startups into your program. Sounds very interesting.
Why not? We can, maybe on another occasion we can go deeper in the...
Yeah.
But we mainly focus on green tech, blue tech, bio and med tech, and artificial intelligence. Now, I see that the time is going too fast.
It's okay.
What I want to say is that Monaco is, of course, one of the unique innovation partners because it has the ingredients for success. What are the ingredients, in my opinion? First, you need political will, because without that you don't go anywhere. Then you need political stability, because without that you don't go anywhere. Then you need long-term vision and high commitment at the highest level, which is difficult to get. Then you need international visibility, which is also very important. And then you need also, and that is something that we have, a remarkable, network of global entrepreneurs and decision makers in a very constrained but dynamic ecosystem. And these are the ingredients that allow, a startup to launch, to fine-tune, to test, their solution efficiently, and while having, high-end and very quick feedback. And I think, this is part of the ingredients that you should have if you want to be successful.
You said you didn't have the recipe to how to turn 2 square kilometers into Monaco, but I think you just specified all the ingredients. We just need to mix them a little bit and maybe...
I mean, you need to know the proportions.
So there's a secret that you're not revealing.
It's like the Coca-Cola recipe.
What caught my attention when we did the opening in November was the fact that when you go to the famous yacht, the marina, they all plug into, there's a electricity born next to each yacht, and they're all using
for
electricity. For free?
For free.
Interesting.
Because this is one, maritime mobility, and that's also the reason why the Prince has decided to give his patronage to that prize, is very important for the Prince as a personal conviction, absolutely not a political position. It's really in his DNA. And the Mediterranean is the most polluted ocean on Earth. Oh. It is unfortunately like this. And so, following the footsteps of his ancestors, he is trying to do his best. Of course, we have not only charging stations, we have also electro-solar shuttles in the port. We have monitoring. We also have the IAEA marine laboratories in Monaco who do a fantastic job by analyzing all the waters, not only in the Mediterranean, but all over the world. So it is a commitment that is 180 degrees. It's as much for the land as it is for the oceans.
And it was a fantastic location for us.
And just to finish, to prove this commitment, in just a couple of days, Monaco is organizing the Blue Economic and Finance Forum in Monaco on the margins or a prelude of the third United Nations Oceans Conference with the President of France, Costa Rica, Brazil, and we hope with this forum to raise not only awareness but funds, because right now what we need are funds.
Interesting. Unless there are any last remarks that you would like to make, I suggest we are running a bit late. Thank you very much for your, not only your contributions here, but also for the support of your respective organizations to the prize. And with that, I suggest we move. Mariana, you're back. How was your break?
My break was...
You missed an excellent roundtable.
No, I was sitting and listening the whole
okay.
time.
Okay.
So I did get to...
Because you were with us in Monaco, you can testify.
I was. No, I was listening very, very attentively to all of it. Yeah, some very important thoughts about what we need to promote sustainable mobility. So we know what we need to do, so now we have to do it.
What are we doing next?
What we're doing next is hearing from the next 5 startups who will be giving their pitches. So I hope they're the ones who did make it to Rzeszów and are here in the room with us. On my list, up next is Peregrine AI from Germany. Is the CEO Stefan Heinrich. There he is. Fantastic. So, welcome.
The Germans made it.
The Germans made it, indeed. So, there's your microphone.
Wait. Okay, we've skipped the jingle. We're all good.
We're all good? Okay. So, Stefan, the stage is yours. They should reset the timer, so you have the allotted 3 minutes. Let's just make sure we have the clock for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
There it is. Good luck. We look forward to your pitch.
Thanks very much. So, thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here. We are Peregrine AI, a German-based company building edge AI solutions, and we unlock new value from vehicle data to make vehicles smarter and roads safer. So if you've recently bought a car or went into car sharing, you might have seen that most of the cars have now plenty of sensors and they are driving with them. And they do got good cause for the cars itself, but they don't do much for the society or for us if we are not owning the car or sitting in the car. So they generate tons and tons of data. Theoretically, there's a lot of value in it, but only a tiny, tiny fraction of the data is actually meaningful. So how do we find it? Sustainably, but also cost efficiently. We need to process it, and they have a lot of good ideas around this. You need to spend lots of money with the hyperscalers, and you need to waste a lot of energy crunching the numbers on the GPUs. We want to change that. How do we get the fresh data out of this? Peregrine is a company that focuses to make cameras in cars smarter, to understand the context of where these vehicles are going and get the relevant data out when it's necessary, really cost efficiently, and we solve also some headaches with data privacy, which is actually a difference when we start the business out of Europe, whether you're based in China or the US. So we provide the access to contextual data at scale, and you can think of us as connecting vehicles in a huge network, buses, taxis, ride-hailing, everyone who's driving a lot of miles in the last mile delivery, and we connect all these informations together. So we are uniquely capable to source data, think of traffic scenarios, the behavior, how actually everyone's moving through the roads, the vectorization of the environments, how does the infrastructure look like, is it in good shape, does it need maintenance? And we act in 3 domains today. Fleet intelligence, so how are the fleets performing, how is the infrastructure looking like, and we want to have fresh maps. We are a team that actually used to work in self-driving cars, and we thought, well, it seems to take a while to get in on the road at scale. Maybe we utilize the sensors in the time being. So you find most of us coming from OEMs, map makers, and tier 1 suppliers. We built startups before, we sold startups before, and we have great advisors with us from the autonomous driving industry. Why this matters is because industry leaders are working with Peregrine today. Companies like Bridgestone want to know how the roads look like to build better tires. Porsche wants to build better self-driving cars and driver assistance systems and need the data for it. And we want to go beyond the car. The society needs insights how our cities look like, and we can basically cover all of the roads, measure precisely, and get the assets from every mile driven. So think of us at getting superior insights faster at scale and very cost efficiently. And to this day, we will be in more than 100,000 vehicles in the months to come. And it's all about getting more coverage on European roads and not just be in the transportation sector, but go into safety, security, and other domains for real-world operations so that AI gets out of the browser, where we all use it, but get it into the real world to make use of AI in our daily living.
Right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. So stay where you are. 3 minutes is not long, I give you that. It's very challenging, especially if it's a more complex product or idea.
Here of empathy among the German-based.
No. I have empathy for everybody. So, in any case, we do have an opportunity to ask one follow-up question. So either our jury members or somebody from the audience, if you have something on your mind, and then you have just a minute to answer. We have one right on this side of the stage.
Hello. Thank you very much for your pitch. Just one question. Some of your business opportunities are not for the user of the car, but for part of the ecosystem and so on. So do you pay the user to install the cameras when it's not for them?
It's a very good question. So yeah, we have a very partnership-driven approach. We actually think that we can monetize data that otherwise was not utilized, and we can bring value back into the system, for example, to the OEMs, suppliers, but also fleet operators, and in the sense, it can also be the vehicle owner. In this regard, it's a bit more complex. We usually work in B2B settings, but for the end user, you could think even for rewardings through fuel cards, for example, to get money back. So it's a bit more tricky with a real end user, but in B2B, it's relatively simple.
All right on time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Many thanks indeed.
Thank you.
So Dan, up next.
Up next, for the very first time in 6 editions, we have a brilliant winner from Turkey.
Excellent.
And I'd like to invite on stage Selen, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Zengin, close enough, from Synthonym in Turkey, product strategy and privacy lead. You have 3 minutes, and thank you for making it.
Fantastic.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity. So Synthonym is a patent-pending lossless visual data anonymization technology. And what we essentially do is we help technologies that help mobility technologies that use camera sensors, rely on camera sensors, see what's happening around them without actually using and potentially exposing any personal data. So we're driving critical data privacy and security in critical automotive applications because these are absolute necessities, and we make sure individuals captured by vehicle cameras or city cameras remain unidentifiable while still preserving data utility. Why lossless anonymization? Is the sound okay, by the way? Okay. Why lossless anonymization? You can mask out or blur out personal identifiers, but let's take the example of an in-cabin camera monitoring the attention of the driver. In this case, the eyelid movements, the head position, the gaze direction, these are all very crucial signals that affect the safe operation of the vehicle and everyone around it. So blurring or masking simply does not do the job here, but when data is anonymized with Synthonym, we make sure there is no loss for AI training and no loss for AI analytics. We've been focusing on automotive because the cost of non-compliance is very high in the industry. In Germany, Volkswagen was fined 1.1 million euros for driving just one test vehicle with cameras on top of it. To avoid similar fines, what we do basically is we remove facial biometrics and replace the face with a synthetically generated one and keep the maximum data utility with key attributes like key head pose, gaze, facial expressions for maximum utility across in-cabin and external scenarios. Another example is Tesla. They recently got the certification mandating that they anonymize facial data captured by their vehicle cameras. We're bringing 3 key benefits. We're enabling high utility, privacy compliant data for training. We're offering real-time anonymization as a built-in privacy feature directly on board the vehicles, and we're making data sharing easier across different regions and third parties. We work with not only faces, but also license plates. We work with vehicle security cameras. We define a region of interest and anonymize everything outside of it. And this privacy-centric approach is what every smart city needs. We can facilitate open data platforms between smart city initiatives worldwide. And we have, since finalizing our R&D late last year, we've onboarded our first paying customers, and now we're working with top automotive companies globally. Our technology is being used for privacy-compliant autonomous driving data collection. Our European customers are using our technology during open road tests, and now we're collaborating with the city administration in Istanbul to implement Syntonym as a privacy layer when documenting traffic violations. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Selene, you were with 27 seconds to spare, and that was really complex and enormous amounts of information packed in, so well done. That was a very tight pitch. You have now an opportunity to answer one question, if we do have one, from our audience or from the jury members. So, just a quick follow-up question. That means that the pitch was so clear and so effective, no questions. So many, many thanks indeed. Fantastic. So from Turkey, we move on to the UK. And we're happy to welcome to the stage the co-founder and CEO of the Tire Collective. So Hansen Cheng, the stage is yours. We're looking forward to your pitch. There he is. So we can have a round of applause, absolutely. So the clock is ready for you. Good luck.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Hansen. I'm the co-founder of the Tire Collective. So we all know tires wear down, but never really considered where it all goes. And it turns out it goes into our environment, and this is the dirty secret of the transport industry. Today, over 1 million tons of tire wear particles are produced annually across Europe. It is the second largest microplastic pollutant in our oceans, toxic to marine life, but also the leading source of air PM pollution. So in London, where I live, we're actually breathing in more tire wear than exhaust. And this problem only gets worse with EVs because they're heavier and they produce about 30% more tire particles. And upcoming kind of Euro 7 and US EPA regulations will require all vehicles to cut tire emissions by 2030. So at the Tire Collective, we develop solutions to capture tire wear using our patented electrostatic technology. And we also work with rubber recyclers to turn this captured pollution into new products, and then also researchers to fill knowledge gaps for future policy. And our first product, which is what you see here, is a retrofit device for commercial vans that we use in logistics and construction industry. We also work with vehicle manufacturers and tier 1 suppliers to look at how we can integrate this technology into new EVs. And we have helped our customers measure tire emissions, quantify the reductions on reducing tire wear for their sustainability reporting, and also maintain competitive advantage. So with our device on 10,000 vehicles, the amount of tire wear that we capture is equivalent to the amount of PM10 that 150,000 people would have breathed in that year. And we also clean up about 9.6 billion liters of water from toxic chemicals, addressing really these 6 core SDGs. So we discovered this problem about 5 years ago and built the first and only commercial viable solution to tackle this global problem. As a team, we're impact-driven with the vision to build the catalytic converter for tire wear, and we're supported by multiple leading organizations as well as a network of advisors. So when we talk about clean mobility and sustainable transport, without EVs and exhaust emissions is really just the tip of the iceberg. And without capturing tire wear, transport will never reach 0 emissions. So join us, and together, let's save our air from tire wear. Thank you.
I don't know about the jury, but the whole time Mariana goes in my ear, wow, I never knew that. This is crazy. So Mariana, I'm about to put you on the spot. Do you want to ask a question this time?
Oh, I don't know. I feel that that's not right. We have the jury, we have our audience. So
okay.
Any questions for the Tire Collective? Yes, sir. The microphone is coming.
But I have to say, most of the others, before you ask your question, came with solutions to problems we knew about. I feel like you're resolving a problem and we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That was there all along and we never heard about it.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
I was wondering, do you have a good estimate for what percentage of the kind of non-exhaust emissions the device would capture?
Yeah, so on roads at the moment, we capture about 10% of airborne particulates by mass. In lab, we're looking at about 80%. So through our trials, we're continually increasing that capture efficiency. But the stat that I presented is based on our current capture efficiency. That's like the baseline, so we can only go higher than that now.
Thanks.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Hansen. We're now reaching the 9th out of 10 startups we're pitching tonight. So from the UK, we're going to Israel, and I'm inviting on stage VP for the EMEA region, Rick Vichari. Doesn't sound very Israeli, but you're based in London. Is that correct? You're based in London? The company is in Israel?
Yes, I am.
And you're Italian.
Right.
So it's a beautiful Mediterranean
big
story.
mix,
Yeah.
right.
3 minutes, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me in this very meaningful location. Upstream Security is an 8-year-old startup already established in the automotive sector and now moving into the EV charging domain. Several studies set the goal of at least 75% passenger vehicle sales by 2030 in order to meet climate goals. And there is a strong correlation between EV adoption and the charging experience. There's about 1 million public chargers deployed across Europe, and with current deployment rate, we should reach around 3.5 million against an estimated demand of between 5 and 8 million. This gap is justifying investment in removing hurdles such as grid capacity, but also maximizing uptime and availability of the installed network, which is what we focus on. I invite you to download our cybersecurity report, where you will find that the hackers community is focusing very much on EV charging infrastructure in order to cause service disruption and take control of centralized systems. If you look at the EV charging ecosystem, it's very complex, and charge point operators play a key role as they manage the physical network, which interacts with the electric vehicles and the grid, and they also manage the supply chain. Now, information and commands travel across this ecosystem with communication protocols of very mysterious names like OCPP, MQTT, OCIP, and this is the very playground of hackers and fraudsters. So what do we do with our innovative platform, leveraging digital twin technology, generative AI, machine learning models? We enable CPOs to monitor all this data traffic in real time and identify potential issues. We do package the solution for each type of prospect. As you can see, charge point operators represent the lion's share of our total addressable market. Today, we monitor approximately 30,000 public chargers globally, and we expect this number to grow exponentially. We have measured the monetary benefit that we bring to charge point operators in terms of cost reduction and revenue protection. But above all, we enable them to manage their risk life cycle in terms of visibility of internal risk, avoid the propagation of risk to other players, and avoid the intake of risk through mergers and acquisition. And we help them ultimately to protect their brand and stock value. Thank you.
Fantastic, also right on time. So quickly, any follow-up question for Rick? Nope. Also a good sign. You covered everything in the pitch. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. So, last but not least, our 10th and final startup is from France. We're very pleased to welcome the president and co-founder of Voltaire, which is a very Nice play on words, very French. So let's have a warm welcome for Alban Regnier. The floor is yours. The clock is ready, and we're looking forward to your pitch.
Thank you. So I will bring you into the beautiful world of Second Life lithium batteries. So why do we work on batteries? There are actually 4 reasons. The first reason is that we need batteries in Europe. We need batteries in our cars, we need batteries in our bikes, in our phones, in our laptops, robots, and so on. But the issue, and that's the second reason why we do remanufacture lithium batteries, is that we don't really produce any batteries in Europe. We have a huge sovereignty issue as we import more than 90% of the batteries we use in Europe. And we import them especially from Asia and in particular China. So the third reason is kind of obvious, but there is a huge environmental impact on the batteries because of the extraction mining. It's one of the most polluting industry in the world. It consumes a lot of water, it emits a lot of CO2, and has various impacts on the environment, such as killing biodiversity or soil acidification. And the fourth reason is batteries also has a social impact. For example, in Congo, where they extract more than 70% of world's cobalt, they employ tens of thousands of children in very bad conditions. But enough with all the shame, we have the solution. And the solution is remanufacturing the batteries. In Europe, in average, when we throw away a battery, it still has 80% of remaining capacity inside, meaning that we could do 4 times what you did with your battery before killing it. And that's what we do. So how do we do it? We actually collect all the old batteries, we open them, take out the cells one by one, we test the cells, and we reassemble all the good cells together to make a new battery. And our battery, they are actually very performant. They are as performant as the new one, even though we use Second Life cells. They meet all the European certifications, and they are competitive on prices, even with the new Chinese batteries. So our vision for 2033 is to open 3 factories in Europe in order to cover all the European territory. We aim for more than 200 million euros turnover, and this is already working, as we have put back to the market more than 35,000 batteries since 2024. So we preserve the environment by avoiding mining extraction, we avoid CO2 emissions, and we preserve Europe's sovereignty. So there's no time to waste. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any quick follow-up question? All right, that's it. You're off the hook. Thank you so much.
Now starts the real fun part.
Now starts the fun part. So members of the jury, do submit your evaluations for the final 5 startups now, and do click submit.
You did a good job with the first 5. I checked. Everything came in.
Good.
We already
Good.
evaluated, calculated, summarized, summed. We know about the first 5. Now we need to get the second group of 5.
And we're also
doing now is we're opening the popular vote. And you will see that online there's quite a few people watching. You should not be able to see, no, I think if it works well, you shouldn't be able to see what the people are voting. You only see your own vote.
Yeah.
It's not like Eurovision. You don't get to vote 20 times. You get to vote once.
And voting is open only for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So think about it, and then do submit a vote, and we will announce who the audience favorite is.
Yeah, there's a special
also
prize
at
for
the
the
end
audience
of the night.
favorite. So startups, feel free now to text your communities, your friends, mama who's watching back home to vote. It's once per device, basically. I'll leave you to go and check that the voting go as planned, that we get the jury vote, we get the popular vote, and I leave you to take care of the second roundtable?
Exactly.
Okay?
Yep, I'll do that because now you just had a chance to speak to our partners from the public sector, and now I'd like to invite our partners from the private sector to the stage. So I'll read out all your names, come find your seat on stage with me, and we'll dive into our discussion. So please come to the stage. Clément Barbe, Head of Innovation from Avens, Hélène Bou, Deputy Head of Innovation, Group ADP, Ben Patrick, CEO and co-founder of Novomo, David Schwartz, CEO via ID, I always want to say it in German, and Nicola Manueli, Managing Director and partner of the Boston Consulting Group. So welcome, everybody. And we do have a little jingle, don't we? So I should mention that we were actually supposed to have one more person with us on this roundtable from MasterCard, Frido van Gelder, the Vice President of Urban Mobility, and he's one of the people that got stuck in Warsaw on his way here, so he made it to Warsaw, but there was just no way to make a connection to Rzeszów in time. We have seen the crazy weather, so I think that was probably part of the reason why. So we have a bit of a smaller group, but nevertheless, hopefully we'll have a fantastic discussion. So Clément, if you don't mind, I'd like to start with you because you lead open innovation in what is a global leasing company. So, you know, we think of global leasing, so cars. So how do you move from cars to cutting edge? And tell us also, how do startups play a role in your company?
Yeah, sure. So I'll actually probably start with just a very simple fact, which is we hold today the largest fleet of electric vehicle in Europe, possibly in the world. And if I go a step back, maybe just so that everybody understands who is Avens. We're part of a French banking group, Société Générale. We were known before as ALD Automotive and LeasePlan, which we've been merging for the past couple of years. And we've been launching that new brand. Our business is the operational leasing of vehicle, meaning we provide the financing for the holding period, but also we aggregate a number of services during the lifetime of the vehicle usage. Things like fuel card, things like maintenance, insurance, etc. And we've actually been expanding also our offering into mobility more broadly to employees. Things like mobility budgets, insurance products that I mentioned, but also bike leasing. And so innovation plays a role for all of these, as you can imagine, all these new business models, the electrification. But if I spend a bit more time on the electrification part, which is really what's driving us overall as a company, the order intake of EVs 5 years ago was around 10%. Today, it's around 41%. So since you don't have the same margins on the same products, you don't resell EVs the same way, this necessarily has some major impact on our business model. And so a big part of the innovation, and where we're actually waiting for contributions from startup, is to actually solve new problems in a faster and cheaper way than we can internally. And an example of that we're going to see right after is the special prize we're sponsoring on battery care and life cycle. The second aspect where we expect startups to contribute is in general to improve our operations, help us become more efficient, give us a technology edge. You can think of things like digital car inspection as an example. And these two that I mentioned are really the core focus that we've been working on lately. Then you have what's always important for us as a leasing company, because we're basically a service company. We aggregate a number of services and provide it to the end customer and the end user. So anything in the way of improving the customer experience, we're going to be interested in. And that's going to become truer and truer as there is more and more decision power that's delegated to the individual employee over some centralized decision. And just a final innovation domain, let's say it's everything around new business models. And for this, of course, startups have a big edge because they come with a fresh perspective, and we're always keen to hear what they have to say.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. So startups, pay attention, everything that improves the customer journey. Very, very important for Evans. So many thanks indeed for that. Aline, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you, Group ADP, of course, manages some of the world's busiest airports. So from car leasing to flying, what kinds of innovation is ADP scouting for? And again, what we're very interested in, of course, for this prize is what role can startups play in your respective mobility ecosystem?
I would say a major role. Okay. We used to work with startups for more than 7 years at Group ADP. As everyone said tonight, we believe that innovation is our future. This is why we work on the airport of the future. And of course, airport is more about air journey for our passengers, but you need to access the airport, you need to move within the airport, and you need to commute within our terminals. So there are major issues in terms of mobility. As for Clément, we look for a better experience passenger. This is clearly our key issue. We want to be more sustainable again and again. So let's say that for mobility, when we talk about mobility, we talk about transportation of people, passenger, more than 100,000 every day on our platform, each platform, Paris-Roissy, Paris-Orly. We talk about transportation of employees, because you don't have only people from Group ADP working on our platforms. There are more than 100,000 people also every day on our platform. And we talk also about cargo transportation and freight transportation. So our mobility issues are sharing mobilities, how to develop new ways of mobility, new services of mobility, so sharing mobilities, autonomous mobilities, intermodality. And we also are looking for data insights about our mobility patterns, how we can reduce the congestion to reduce our environmental footprint also. So many issues. I'm sure I'm not exhaustive tonight, but we love to work with startups. And one point is important that we have our roadmap called 2025 Pioneers. We set more than maybe 20 KPIs to perform for 4 years, 2022, 2025. And one of the KPIs is about innovation and about collaboration with startups. We aim to work to roll more than 120 POC within the 4 years. And the big challenge is to scale after the POC. But we hope that we will get this objective. And thanks to startup.
Thank you very much. Yeah, a lot of opportunities. It's so complex. What happens at an airport? So many things going on. So I can imagine there's all sorts of different solutions that you're interested in, and all kinds of fields that the startups are working in could be very useful for ADP. And we have a startup, or at least a former startup, Ben Patrick from Nivomo. Your company, of course, was a prize winner and turned partner, so that's pretty exciting. It's the first ever. We did hear a little bit about your company earlier today. Also very nice that you're a Polish company, and here we are in Poland. So maybe you can give all of us just a brief overview of what that journey was like, how, a prize-winning startup, and now as a partner.
Thank you very much for having us. We feel a little bit guilty because this was part of the deal we've done, that we become a partner if he brings the finals to Poland. So he kept the word. By the way, I want to thank Michał Litwin, who's with us in the audience, who made it possible to make it here in Rzeszów. For us, it's a very special location because just half an hour drive from here in Nowa Sarzyna in Chemetika facility. It's a major Polish chemical company. We have our test track, where thanks to National Center for Research and Development first, and then EIC Accelerator, we were able to deliver our full-scale test facility, which was instrumental to bring the first clients in. What we've done very briefly, I think it can be compared to what Tesla did for automotive to some extent, which is changing the mode of propulsion. With Giorgio, I hope we can agree that this what was invented 200 years ago is a very efficient mode of traction, right? Steel wheel running on steel rails, but it can be improved now with all the digital technologies that we have. So what we do, we retrofit existing wagons with kind of magnetic surfboard, which is passive, so no energy transition to the vehicles, and wave generator in the truck, which allows us to run old wagons without locomotives. So we reduce the braking distance by 4, increase the capacity twice, and have more or less functionality of cars on the rail lines. And we offer it to our first market segment before we go to the open infrastructure, which is, of course, a major challenge. As Giorgio has said, railways is a system, very complex, very safety reliant, so it's going to take time. So we do it first in industrial facilities, for industrial logistics, for automation and decarbonization, and then we do it for ports. Our first client is ArcelorMittal in Germany. It's already under implementation within their biggest steel mill in Germany. And now we expect to announce our first contract outside Europe. What's really, I think, important is, from my really perspective, there is one thing. We have to realize that railway technology and railways are the last big mobility sector after automotive and aviation, which has been somehow resistant to external innovation so far, right? And now it's opening up, for example, thanks to the programs like Europe's Rail. This is one of the European specialties where we can really conquer the world, because we don't have so many, right? And we had a very dynamic discussion this morning in the plenary, where I was trying to convey a message, especially to the funding institutions, and I'm very happy what Mrs. Czerwińska was talking about, the new 70 billion program. I hope a chunk of it can be directed into rail-related innovations, because we have to restart in Europe creating new markets. We stopped at the second industrial revolution. And railways, logistics, maritime logistics, container, intermodal, these are super strong sectors in Europe where we still have the global leadership. And based on this, we should be able to not aim only for unicorns. We should really, start following trends. Okay, AI, sorry, it's great. But we cannot only invest in AI. There are different things, and just following trends set up elsewhere will not make us leaders. And because we have everything it takes from technical perspective, but we need maybe some more, sometimes entrepreneurial ambition, and then courage from the funding institutions, from private investors, from the public sector investors, to help scale really this breakthrough things that will create new markets, because this is super important. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I'm originally from the United States, even though I've lived in Europe for 25 years, and I was just visiting the US just in April, and I took a train, and it was horrible. And I just, and I know that people in America are so envious of rail travel in Europe. So we definitely have, we're ahead of the game, and we have enormous potential. So now we really just need to accelerate that for sure. So speaking of me being in Germany for 25 years, David, I have to apologize for instinctively pronouncing your last name German. So you're David Schwartz and not necessarily David Schwarz. So sorry about that. As the CEO of Via ID, I know you've seen quite a few mobility startups over the years, maybe too many to count. And now, of course, you're going to be accelerating our top 10. So maybe you can give us a little preview of what they can expect from the VIA ID experience.
Thank you. Well, let me say first, you were actually a bit right. I grew up on the German border.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so.
Und ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen.
Sehr schön.
So first of all, I'd like to thank very much all the partners and everyone as a co-founder, and I'm sure you'll do. You will thank all of them as well, and also congratulations to the amazing top 10 startups that have been pitching. So at VIDs, we've seen thousands and thousands of startups in 15 years because we've been active now in mobility innovation and startups for 15 years. From very early stage pioneers to global scale-ups, European ones that are now big players in Europe or around the world. We've seen trends coming up, of course. We've seen also a few trends stopping or going or failing, but that's what innovation is, and you all know it. But there's one thing that stays, and this is also our deep belief. We need founders, we need innovators, we need crazy guys to launch new businesses, to launch startups, to make it happen. And our role and the role of the Startup Prize is to really build this better connected world and these ecosystems to make innovation even stronger and to make it possible to move even faster and to have Europe, as you said, you mentioned it, probably the most active, and I'm pretty sure I've been traveling a lot, and you are from the US, and I've been to the US for 30 years, once, twice, 3 times, 10 times a year, and go more and more to China. I've been quite a lot to China in the recent years. In the mobility field, Europe is definitely ahead of the game. There are a few weaknesses, there are many things we need to improve, but this is where it's happening. The Americans, they say it now openly, but even the Chinese, they say in many areas, you're really good guys, and we are also working and partnering more and more with the Chinese guys, Chinese companies or Chinese industries. They are amazing, and that's also something that is happening at the moment. We have bridges now between Europe and China and Europe and America in that field, in the mobility field. I don't think we have that in so many areas, in so many sectors. Now, what can all of you, and especially startups, expect from us, from the prize? First, access to this ecosystem, a strong ecosystem. Intros to corporates, industries, investors, institutions. It was the idea day one, but after 6 editions, we've reached really something new and something that we didn't imagine at the beginning. We've reached a real scale effect. Now the Startup Prize is something that is really bigger than we thought. We have more than 3,000 startups in our databases. We have 300 alumni. And with this edition, more than 60 winners, because I have to add the special prizes. That's for the ecosystem and the access to all these connections, etc. Second, we have a specialized acceleration program. Let's be very honest and very clear. We're not going to teach the startups what they already know on how to be good entrepreneurs. They've already proven that they are. We offer something much more pragmatic or concrete, but something also very special, which is helping the startups navigate across Europe, across European players. That's something that we can do thanks to BCG, thanks to the European Parliament and European institutions, and also through the partners. This is something also very unique. Europe is a complicated thing, we all know it, but with this ecosystem and all this very specialized and very customized acceleration program, we make it work. That's why we're here in Poland, and I'm very happy we made it in Poland this year. I think that at the beginning we thought, wow, going to Rzeszów is a crazy idea. That's probably the best idea we've had this year. So thank you, and thank you to all the Polish partners that helped us a lot in making it possible. Last but not least, we are very pragmatic. Each winner is unique. Fortunately, we don't have 50 winners. That's why we made it very small at the end of the day. It's big at the beginning, but we take care of the 10 winners. And the idea is really to have the classic European prize scheme and programs, but we are also bringing tailor-made and very specific answers to the needs of the startups. So that's what we do with the acceleration program. That's what we do with BCG, VID, and all the partners. And that's quite unique. And I think after 6th edition, we can be very proud together of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much for that, David. So, as you said, you'll be accelerating the top 10, and the top 4 are going to be supported by Boston Consulting Group. So, Nicolas, it's a 6-week intensive program, so that sounds a little scary. So, tell us what this consultancy deep dive will include, and maybe even, without over-promising, what kind of transformations can our startups expect if they get to work with BCG?
Sure. So first of all, thank you all for making this prize possible, and I think you thanked all the partners, and I think we are very proud at BCG to be co-founder of this prize. We are even prouder of being, among this crowd of very successful entrepreneurs shaping the sustainable mobility of the future. We do believe at BCG that sustainable mobility is a challenge that requires a lot of innovation and a lot of push from startups like you, and we want to take our part in this transformation. This is why we take part of this prize, but we also want to support the winners. Unfortunately, we cannot support all of the great startups that we have seen during this prize, but we are excited to announce that indeed we are going to support, as part of the acceleration program, a specific tailored consulting project for the top 4 of the startups. So what can you expect as a winner? So first of all, we start with you. We start shaping together, working with you and your leadership team, what are the most critical challenges or opportunity your business is facing. So it's really tailored approach based on where you stand today and what do you believe is critical for your business. It can be go-to-market strategy, it can be operating model optimization, it can be scaling operations, it can be preparing your next funding round. So anything that is critical to you is what we are here to support. Then what are we going to do? We are going to staff a BCG dedicated team, so consultants, but also all access to our network of experts in all our local European countries, access to our BCG IP and database that we have collected with our Center of Mobility and Innovation. So we have a dedicated structure for that. And we are going to bring that together to work with you and answer those critical challenges in the most powerful way and unlock the potential of your business. So you will expect some data analysis for sure. You will expect some market insight, some competitive intelligence as well. You can expect as well some tough questions. I think it's about challenging your business and working together on solving those critical issues that will really bring the value out of this exercise. So we are very happy to do that. We will not, of course, explain you how to run your business. We are not into making businesses or startups, but we are here to answer critical operating challenges, bringing all our knowledge and expertise to your business. So very excited to be part of this journey, and good luck to the winners.
Thank you so much. So tough questions, but out of an enormous motivation to support the startups. Thank you to all of our partners from the industry. We appreciate it.
And before they leave, just to say, I have the winners.
Oh, so the
It
voting...
wasn't open for even 10 minutes, and we had over 650 people who voted. My hand was trembling when I closed the voting because, I could really see the numbers going up, one after the other, voting. Close results.
Oh, interesting. So we'll find out.
Also, we collected all the jury votes, accumulated with the great help of Katja from VID, so we know who the silver, the gold are, and the popular vote. So with that...
with that,
I think we can thank our lovely second panel.
for sure, you're free, and we're already getting excited to hear the results.
Yes.
So many thanks. So,
That is true. I interrupted you. There are still just before we reveal the results, there are two partners, both based in Lisbon, Portugal, who both wanted to be here and both couldn't. I don't know if it's related again to delays in Warsaw.
We
I think
knew
this
about
time,
this ahead of time. It was scheduling conflicts, and they couldn't make it, but they did want to also share a quick message with all of us. So I think we have a video that was sent to us.
The first one is Brisa Group. It's an international operator of highways.
Yep.
And can we get their quick message?
Hi everyone, I'm so sorry I can't be with you there today. It's been a wonderful journey to be part of this edition of the European Startup Prize for Mobility. It has been amazing to see the quality of the startups that we have achieved and gather together here, and congratulations on making it to the final part of the selection process. I look forward to see you all in Lisbon at the Web Summit and collaborate further with you. Thank you so much.
All right.
That was Anna from Brisa.
Yep. We also have a quick message from Unicorn Factory, the Chief Operating Officer, Mafalda Freitas.
I love your pronunciation in Portuguese.
I love Portuguese.
I know.
Started learning European Portuguese.
Because you
It's very
spend
difficult.
all your holidays in Madeira.
I do.
Hello from sunny Lisbon. My name is Mafalda and I am the COO at Unicorn Factory Lisboa, the city's official platform for all startups and scale-ups and a proud partner in driving collaboration in sustainable innovation. So first of all, congratulations to all the finalists of this European Prize for Mobility. At Unicorn Factory, we are deeply sorry for not being able to be there with you today at this closing ceremony, but excited and thrilled to be extending an invitation to the top 4 selected organizations. So later this year, here in Lisbon, we will be welcoming you to Web Summit, one of the world's largest tech gatherings, and you'll be able to pitch your solution and your idea and your startup in a selected, curated side event at Web Summit filled with top investors and top innovators, and of course, immerse yourself into this vibrant city and learn a little bit more about the mobility and innovation ecosystems here in Lisbon. At Unicorn Factory, we've helped over 800 startups start, scale, and grow global, and we are honored to be helping you accelerate your journey. We really believe that the next breakthroughs in mobility will come from these bold collaborations. And Lisbon is not just a beautiful city anymore. It's a living lab filled with experimentation, innovation, cultural diversity, new ideas, and we cannot wait to have you here with us. So for today, thank you and best of luck to everyone.
Don't you love this Portuguese enthusiasm of inviting us all to go there?
Absolutely.
I'm going.
I would love to go.
You should
So
join
I
us.
always want an excuse to go to Lisbon.
I know.
All right, so now, Dan, we are ready to announce the special category
we'll
prizes.
start with the special categories,
We're
then the
gonna make
silver, then the gold.
The suspense a little bit. So,
Exactly.
And we're going to call upon someone else to present each of these special category prizes. So we'll begin with the scale up of the year.
So I need a scale up.
And that is going to be presented by Teresa Czerwinska from the European Investment Bank. So, Vice President Czerwinska, the stage is yours, and you're going to tell us who is the scale-up of the year. So, da-da-da-da, drum roll, please.
Thank you. Drama. Okay. The winner is... Okay.
It's like in the Oscars, suspense.
Yeah. So this year we decided exactly our group of experts in the European Investment Bank, which consists of experts in the field of operations and engineers. They decided that the award goes to Viridion.
Viridion. They're going to correct our pronunciation.
Viridion.
And here they are.
Please, applause. And Bożena Chrywnak.
Thank you so much.
So just...
Congratulations.
a lot.
Congratulations. Look to the camera. This will be yours to keep, and this is your trophy.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I don't know if you want to say a quick word.
Yes, sure. So thank you, everyone, for the invitation. Thank you very much. We're delighted to receive this award. So at Veridian, we contribute and we support the Europeans' initiative and the Europeans' vision to provide a sustainable transportation to all the regions. And with our electric aircraft, full electric one, we can basically serve over 2,000 regional airfields in Europe. That is very large number, and this is basically a new transportation modality, especially to the regions where there is no railway connection, and we heard already there's a lot of problems with railway connection even in Europe. So yeah, we are very happy, we're delighted to be here, and I wish you a brilliant evening and a good networking event.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vice President.
So Dan, up next, we'll have the special award for female entrepreneur that's going to be presented by Cédric Pelletier,
Consul General of France
in Krakow.
On behalf of the French minister. It was actually his predecessor who promised to sponsor the prize. The rhythm in which minister change in France is faster than our editions. So thank you for presenting it on his behalf. Female, yes.
Thank you.
You know who it is, but...
Just maybe a quick word. I was very surprised, actually, to read this number that the presence of women in the mobility startup ecosystem it's a key topic, but according to the latest mobility state of the art report in 2024, only 4% of funding in European mobility startups goes to teams with at least one woman founder. So the French Ministry of Transport and France actually is actively engaged in improving this situation, and through this special prize we aim to draw attention to this critical issue that is part of our very strong agenda.
The winner is not here because she's a woman. She's here because she's very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are talking about the female entrepreneur prize, so maybe it's because she's a female.
No, but point out, she's not only a woman, she's an excellent entrepreneur.
Absolutely. This being said, so yeah, suspense again, right? We should be. So the special prize in the category of female entrepreneur awarded by the French Ministry of Transport goes to Xenia Duarte with EX9 EX9.
So congratulations. Fantastic.
Félicitations. Do you want to say a quick word? Yeah. We met in Paris at the event of the Top 50.
Yes, change now. That's why we're here, right? To change now. First, thank you very much for this award. I'm definitely very delighted to be here on behalf of the whole EX9 team. We transform logistics with autonomous yard tractors to make this, let's say, very heavy routine job sustainable, efficient, safe, and definitely more how can I say, performant also. And thank you, Dan, just to say that I'm not here just because I'm a woman, even if I really like the idea to be kind of role model for youngers, but also because we succeed as a team, and I'm very happy to co-lead our team with a man, so it's a mix. And we did a team building event, like at the beginning of this week, and we just talk all together. It looks like we are from all over the world. That's also how we build the story, right? Mixity, diversity, and all together. Thank you so much.
In our prize, I have to say that we always struggle to bring winners who are female, and we insist that they should send female leaders. But then from the political world, surprisingly, commissioners, ministers, head of representations, vice presidents. I mean, there we don't. I mean, of course, gender balance is a problem everywhere. But women come. We have female leaders. But then when it comes to the winning startups, it's always a struggle. So thank you for being.
Hopefully,
it
will be more and more.
We want to see more next year.
We promote that
and reach a gender balance maybe for the 7th edition.
And short promotional page, very, very short. We do an autonomous operations demo, live demo, next in 2 weeks, 17th of June in Cambrai in France. So your friends, logistician, operators will be definitely very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Many things, and indeed, up next is the special prize for maritime mobility that will be presented by Ambassador Lorenzo Ravano of Monaco. So, Ambassador, here is, you also know who it is, and now you're going to tell us officially.
We're creating suspense with the envelopes, but they know who they're giving it to. It's already engraved on the prize, but...
Well, it is my pleasure and honor to present the special prize in the category of maritime mobility on behalf of His Serene Highness Prince Albert II of Monaco to Mr. Alexandre Marc and Mr. Hervé Dumartin for Econautique.
Hooray. Congratulations to Econautique. And
look to the camera. Congratulations. Quick word if you want to say. Thank the Academy.
Thanks so much. We're very proud and honored to receive this prize, and many thanks to Prince Albert de Monaco and its ambassador. We're looking forward to contribute to your commitment to the ocean preservation and the climate change mitigation.
And of course, we're a team, so a quick thank you to our team back home, our partners, without whom we could not deliver on our mission to accelerate and democratize access to the energy transition, both for maritime and river mobility. To that effect, today we're trying to scale our operations both from Monaco all the way through to the northern coasts of Poland. So for that, we're looking for international partners, obviously more financing. So we encourage you to reach out to us either at the cocktail dinner or if you're online, econautic.com or .eu rather. Yeah, thank you very much again for this. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Ambassador.
So,
next.
Moving right along, we're moving to rail mobility. The special prize for that will be presented by Giorgio Travaini, the Executive Director of Europe's Rail JU. So, Giorgio, who is our winner? We will find out in just a second.
Just a second. Of course, I know who the winner is. But before this, maybe just to tell that the winner will have the possibility to pitch also to all our members. So is the winner ready to scale up at European Union level?
Watch out, scaling is coming at you.
And the winner is Future Rail.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's an honor to receive the prize, and especially from the ERGU, because the railway is a big family, and that's a sign that we're now part of the family. So really appreciate it.
Thank you. Look to the camera so you have a souvenir from this special moment. We're in the business of visibility and promotion.
And you did well to switch from Tesla to rail.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
So up next, we have a special prize for Ukrainian tech.
On behalf of the Commission, as we heard before, on behalf of the Commissioner for Sustainable Transport and Mobility, since the Commissioner is not here, we are honored to have the head of the European Commission's representation to Poland. Sorry? No, well, no, we're not revealing it yet. We're just giving your name. Thank you for being with us. Yeah. We're not going to kill the suspense. I'll give you the microphone and the envelope, even though you know.
So warm welcome, Katarzyna Smyk.
Right, yes. Hold it like this. Or this.
But I thought that you are allowing the Commission to announce who is the winner.
So it's funny you mentioned that, because as we discussed before, he sent us a video and he announced the winner when he wanted to put the video in the beginning, because he's the commissioner, so we had to cut out the part when he's revealing the prize. No, you thought we would show it now.
Yeah.
No, but that's what you are here for.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
we keep that for you. I
even
understand.
better.
You were
It's
expecting
even
the commissioner to
better.
announce it. No, it's yours.
Yeah, exactly.
You're announcing the
So
winner.
thank you very much. So first of all, this award, by this award, the Commission is reaffirming our unconditional, unwavering support for Ukraine and Ukrainian innovation. We stand with Ukraine.
Slava Ukraini.
In our solidarity, but also in partnership. We invest in your ideas, in your talents, and in your future. So congratulations, and the winner is Inputsoft.
From across the border.
So, welcome Inputsoft. Congratulations. So, if you want to say a few words?
Yeah, first of all, my surname is also Smuk, so
There's
that's
no
quite a
link.
coincidence.
There's no link. Yeah.
There's no
Yeah, we never met before. Yeah, but also it's a great honor to receive this award on behalf of Inputsoft. And by the way, we are building a digital platform to manage all operation at the airports. And it's a great timing, but also a bit bittersweet, because for the past 3 years we were unable to bring our solution to the Ukrainian airports. And for me, as for an aerospace engineer who's been working in the industry for more than 10 years, it's also not just the professional mission to support the recovery of the airports in Ukraine, but also it's deeply personally. So that's the mission of Inputsoft. And before the skies will open in Ukraine, we will support and contribute to the future of European and global aviation as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's inspiring to see excellence in dire conditions.
Absolutely. So Dan, moving right along, we're ready for the special prize for river mobility. That's going to be presented by, who is it going to be presented by? Perrine Lebel, there you are.
And here she is.
And here she is.
So yeah, I did surprise you before saying that it's yet another someone who's now celebrating, maybe watching us in Warsaw.
They will be in our hearts, so hello.
So, I mean, we do have the trophy, and I'll let you announce.
Okay. So we are very happy to deliver the prize for river mobility to Robot. So, hello, Robot.
Joshua Jordan, who's stuck in Warsaw and watching us. We keep the trophy. It's going to find its way to you.
Then I can tell. I prepared a few words, so I can tell them as they are not here. Actually, they are building systems to make boats autonomous, and that's very interesting to us because we have big works on retrofitting the fleet of old boats to change the engine, to change the alternative fuels, and if you add this kind of systems that can really reduce the GAS emitted by the boats, so that's very interesting for us, and we would use it for our modal shift and for the freight transport.
And they're based in the Netherlands, so I think we will convene. We are halfway in Brussels. We'll convene them from the Netherlands. You will come from France. We will offer the trophy.
And they had a pilot in the Parisian region on the Bassin de la Villette, and also in Amsterdam. So.
Oh wow! So you're already establishing a relationship with them.
But they are mature, so that's interesting. They are at the point where they can disseminate their technology on the freight. So that's interesting to us.
Well, Joshua, the trophy is yours. Congratulations. Thank you, Perrine.
All right, Perrine, thank you very much. So next we have the special prize for EV battery care and life cycle that will be presented by Clément Barbe, Head of Innovation at Avens. So welcome back. And will you reveal for us the special prize for battery care and life cycle?
Yep.
All right, thank you. Just a word about the prize, because we were, I mean, it's quite a mouthful in terms of the title of it, but it's very linked to the electrification challenge that I mentioned before. And we were actually careful in terms of the phrasing of the prize to emphasize as much the aspect around mitigating potential concerns around the health of the battery, for example, as well as really considering seeing the opportunities in the transition. And actually, when we reviewed the list of the potential winners, our attention got really triggered by the opportunity side, where we could link potential future revenue streams with actually addressing some of the societal impact, actually infrastructure impact that a lot of EVs brought on the market is creating.
And with all this build-up, who is the winner?
Yes. And so for this, I would like to call Tether and call Luis Medina on stage.
From Spain.
From Spain.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So thank you so much to our Polish hosts and all the partners, and of course Avens for giving us the award. A quick word about Tether. We build AI that connects to millions of electric vehicles and chargers, and essentially we predict and optimize how those millions of cars charge in relation to each other and what's happening on the power grid. In our opinion, that's just a big distributed battery on wheels. So that allows us to not only minimize the cost of charging, maximize the use of renewable energy. We can even help balance the power grid, of course, but it also allows us to extend the lifetime of vehicle batteries by intelligently managing that charging. So this is a big idea. It requires buy-in from not only a startup like ourselves, but from a big company like Avens. So we're super excited, and thank you so much.
Congratulations. So now we're ready for the special prize for shared mobility and travel tech.
I'm like the wheel girl. Remember when you had to turn the wheel?
Yes, yes. So this one will be presented by Mateusz Budyński from Europcar. So good to see you, Mateusz. So yes, tell us who is the winner.
I will not surprise you that I already know who wins.
Yes, so you have to tell us.
Just to explain, the special prizes we know in advance.
Yeah.
And they're engraved.
And they are
but
only
for the
one
rest,
we know.
it's real competition. Nothing is sold in advance.
No.
I'm really pleased to be over here on behalf of Europcar Mobility Group and to handle the special award. We have selected the company for the Shared Mobility and Travel Tech Special Prize for its innovative plug-and-play data platform, which stands out for its simplicity and user-friendliness. The solution empowers cities and businesses for the better management of shared mobility, with over 30,000 vehicles already integrated and improving daily life in 20 cities. The company is making tangible impact. It aligns perfectly with the values of smarter and more sustainable travel that we also aim over here with the Europcar Mobility Group. Ladies and gentlemen, the Oscar goes to... Let's do the opening.
Wait, we put the logo on each envelope, we might as well.
Yep. It goes to Nivelle.
From Norway.
All the way from the north.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
The prize. The microphone. I can do all this stuff.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Yeah, and that was a great introduction. I don't have to say, and I also put my message through early. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I see some great potential here. Yeah, but thanks. And not only would I like to thank you for actually awarding us, but also the brave cities that we're actually working for that actually went first, and like the city of Bergen in Norway, the city of Frankfurt, city of Helsingborg, that actually do believe in us and show that we can actually do things in a really proper way. And not at least we have to thank our team,
that is also not only based in Norway, we also have some really clever developers here in Poland that I've been visiting now, so that's also really good. Cool. And we've got some really good investors on board that is actually fueling our growth. So this is looking really, really good. So yeah, and thanks again to you. I see some, especially this part about B2B. We should have a talk about this. So
this is what the prize is all about, making those twinnings and synergies and connecting big corporations with promising startups. So we're really happy to see these little love stories between partners and startups. Congratulations, and follow up with him. Europe Core Mobility Group has a lot to offer. Congratulations.
All right, Dan, there's one more special...
We're running out of trophies before they all fall and break.
No, they're very resilient. We're high-tech and resilient. Okay, so the last special prize that we're going to be awarding today is for rural and island mobility. And we'd like to invite Witold Naturski, head of the European Parliament Liaison Office in Poland, to present that prize on behalf of Yunus Omarjee, Vice President of the European Parliament. And I did learn that Yunus Omarjee himself is from an island, so this is a prize that's very close to his heart. He's from Réunion.
Exactly.
So so who's the winner? I'll give you the microphone.
Hello. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here on behalf of our Vice President, and of course also this category is special for the European Parliament because the European Parliament is the promoter of the sustainable and zero-emission transport. But there is also one more reason I'm happy to hand this award here in Rzeszów, because Rzeszów is the Polish capital of the Aviation Valley cluster. So this is especially important also for this place. And without any further
maybe just to mention that the Parliament also hosted this same ceremony of the 5th edition, was inside the European Parliament in Brussels. I don't know if you know, under the patronage of President Metsola. So we have a good, loving relationship with the Parliament.
I didn't know that.
And of course, Karima, our founder, was a member of Parliament and chairwoman of a committee when she founded the prize.
Committee of the Transport.
So we were actually for many years under the patronage of the European Parliament.
That's
the whole prize.
That's great news to learn. You always learn something, even though you worked 20 years there. Okay, without further ado, and that's a surprise because we are inviting for the second time here someone. It's Veridion.
I hope you brought a big suitcase with all the prizes that you're getting.
I'm very happy for you.
Thanks so much. It's really an honor and a very special moment to receive 2 awards in one night.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I know we are short on time, and I'm the only thing that invites us from hearing the names of the winners of tonight. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to the European Commission and also for having such initiatives like EIC Accelerator, like the initiative that was introduced today from the EIB, right, the TEC EU, to support the projects like ours, because developing a sustainable aircraft in a very regulated industry is a very difficult task and requires a lot of funding. So thank you for supporting the projects, the deep tech projects like ours.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I hope you're checking in your luggage to carry everything back.
Okay,
so all
Dan.
of these we actually knew. We knew behind the scenes. We knew what the partners wanted to do. From this moment on, it was an open game.
That's right. And
as I said, it was over 650 votes within just a few short minutes. It was actually closed. There was a bug. And then when we finally opened it, the numbers went up. And at some point, we had to close. And we have a winner. And to announce the winner...
Well, we should say what? First, it's the audience choice,
Sorry, you're right.
So that's the first is the audience award. So this is the ones that were selected by our online viewers and also our guests here in Rzeszów. So this award is going to be presented to us by David Schwartz from Via ID. So David, let's find out. We don't know. This we really don't know.
We really don't know.
So. I do actually, but...
Oh no, because you were watching
because you've seen the numbers.
There's numbers. I don't know, so for me and you, it's going to be a surprise.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Show you first.
Okay, let's see.
I'm happy because step by step, I think we've covered most of Europe, if not the whole Europe. Because we have a friend from the UK, from London, and it's going to be the Tire Collective. So, Hansen,
congratulations.
You're going to get the prize. The audience has voted. you are the most popular, and I think you invented something very, very, very smart and very powerful. So I'm happy you're getting the prize.
So congratulations.
So you're also going to
Amazing.
carry 2 prizes home because you're going to be either silver or gold. So whatever happens, you have two trophies to take home tonight. You want to say a word?
Yeah, this is unexpected. I guess I didn't know. And yeah, thank you for people watching and believing in our mission. Tyra has always been there, and now we have a way to solve it. So thank you.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So
Okay,
now,
thank you, David.
thank you very much,
we're
David.
going to start. All of them are winners. It's important for me to emphasize the jury did vote on those. I mean, it's a way for us to gamify the event to make it more fun. Nobody's a loser here. It's not like Eurovision. There's one who got 2 points and going home humiliated. They all won,
Yeah.
and they made it out of over 500.
Yeah.
And yet we asked the jury to vote on them, and they did. And we're now going to start with those who are Silver Award winners.
That's right. So drum roll, please. Let me announce.
You want oh, do it your way.
Yeah, I mean, I have it in my secret little...
I added it to your script. Yeah.
You did? So I can... This is just added now. So
okay.
let's have a huge round of applause for Loxo. Congratulations. And also, congratulations to Cell Life. Here you go. Congratulations. Also to Laka. Congratulations. Congratulations. So, and who's next, Dan?
So we have one who is silver by default because he couldn't actually pitch. He pitched remotely. He's still a top 10. He wasn't here. He's getting also a silver that's Hive Power from Switzerland. I can hold his trophy as if I won.
Yeah, so you can clap for him. Also, our silver winner is Upstream. And last but not least, congratulations to you as well. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And the last one for silver is...
Which one did you skip? Peregrine AI.
So
Stay with us.
Stay with
well,
us.
by elimination, you understand now the 4 gold winners, but I'll invite Nicolas, who's going to accompany the top 4 on stage to still announce them and give them their trophies. So Nicolas, who are the 4 that you're going to be working with for the next few weeks? And that's based on the accumulated votes of the front row jury.
And they are?
And they are. It's getting crowded.
It is.
Tire Collective.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations. So I hope you have space in your suitcase for 2. Okay, and the next?
Voltaire.
Okay. We had music and the music disappeared. So,
Future Rail.
okay, it's getting very crowded here. I'll get out of the way. Future Rail. Everybody get nice and cozy together. Congratulations.
And Sintonheim.
And Sintonim from Turkey.
Congratulations. And now, if we can get the music on, we usually finish by inviting all the participants and speakers and jury to come on stage for a final family picture. We can move to the... So please join us on stage. Please put us the music as I start thanking a lot of people. But yeah. Exactly.
There we go. All right, now a huge round of applause for all the top 10 winners and their teams. So we want to also call up the members of our jury and expert evaluators.
Yeah.
So everybody can crowd onto the stage. Let's go.
To the European Parliament, the European Commission, who've been accompanying us for some years, to the Polish presidency of the EU Council and the Minister, to our co-founders, Boston Consulting Group and VID, and especially to Katja, who was working tirelessly on this. To our partners, Avens, BCG, VID, MasterCard, Group ADP, Europcar Mobility Group, Brisa Group, Unicorn Factory Lisboa, Mobilians, VNF, Nevomo, Europe's Rail, and the European Investment Bank.
Our
all of you.
The hosting institutions, the Zhezhov Regional
Regional-
Development Agency, Aeropolis.
To the viewers, I'm just going to sit in front and finish reading. You can join me. Come, come, come. To everybody who's been watching us on the Brussels Times and World Technology, to every single person who made this 6th edition a reality. Special thanks to Michał Litwin, who also connected us with all the Polish authorities here. Thank you, Mariana. You keep coming back. I appreciate
do.
it.
It's always fun, Dan. This is an amazing event. Really exciting to be here again. It's been quite a ride.
Yeah.
And we're excited to see what the future holds for all of these amazing startups.
So for those of you watching us online, we are going to be finishing the broadcast now. And for those of us who are here in Zhezhov, there's a cocktail happening right outside. So thank you for watching us on World Technology, on the Brussels Times, and see you next year. We don't know where.
For the 7th edition.
For the 7th edition.
Take care, everyone.
Let's do 1, 2, 3, and we raise our hand.
1, 2, 3.
Woo! Great.
Yay! I love chaos.